3, 2. Gonna time that right one day. Good morning to the peoples. Good morning to my Facebook family, as well as my YT family, YouTube, and everywhere else that this expression will be expressing itself. As always, you know how we do. I like to say welcome to the AP Morning Show. Welcome to the show. It is a beautiful Monday morning. Crack of dawn in. I am yawning. Well, I got all my yawns out already. Wiping the cold out my eyes, seeing who's on my phone and why. And so for those that see my phone, looking at it on the screen, I'm over here with my Clubhouse family. My CH fam are we, as we all stand together in accountability. Right there. Accountability partners is who we are. We come from different walks of life, from near and from far, but we come all in this name of accountability for one thing, and that's just to be with each other, shoulder to shoulder, brother to brother, sister to sister, brothers from other mothers, sisters from other misters, as I like to say. And we just stand here together to do this thing called life. One more day, one more time. So I don't know about you, but I'm always excited about that opportunity, that moment, that ability to realize that we are still here. If that weren't the case, you wouldn't have heard those words come out of my mouth. You wouldn't be able to receive it. You wouldn't be able to process it. You wouldn't be able to think about it and go, damn, I'm still here. Another day. I'm still here. Another day. Another day. Another way to take advantage of that day and to say, good morning. In fact, I got another way to put it. Lionel Jefferson says 100. Thank you, Lionel. That's all I'm saying. It's a Monday. And even more than a Monday is another moment to own it. To own it. To grab it by the horns. To take advantage of it. To live it. To love it. To walk it. To talk it. To be about it. To see about it, to inquire within about it. That's where we are. So happy Monday, people. And good morning to you. If you're on East Coast time or West Coast time. If you're over in South Africa right now, then I would say good evening to you. Because it would be about 4:30 in the evening. It's one of the things that happened here in this Clubhouse experience when I first came on. First couple of days on, there was a guy. Hey, girlie. Okay, my cat wants to say hi. You want to say hi? Are you gonna allow me to pick you up this time? All right. Come here. Well, you're gonna be funny. Are you ready to go out? Okay, she's ready to leave. Okay, so before she leaves, I'm gonna see if she'll let me pick her up. She can tell I'm trying to show it to y'all. Let me let my cat out, y'all. You ready to go? Watch it. Can I get you to say hi to the peoples? One time, just one time. Just one time. You want to say hi one time? Come here. Okay, she says hi, y'all. She says hi. Y'all should have saw how she galloped out of my room. It's my cat Autumn, y'all. My best friends in life. Yes, and so Denise M. Park says, good morning, fam. Good morning, good morning. Lionel also follows it up by saying, real life. I don't think some folks realize how precious life is. Couldn't agree with you more, Lionel. But that's why we're here. And that's why I want to say what's up to my peoples on Clubhouse. Eunice, Caesar, Nicole Smith. Excited to be able to chop it up with you and have some great conversations. And so with that, I'm going to say what's up to my cousin blood, Caesar Bell. Good morning, fam. Oh.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. What's up, cousin?
What's going on, man? Or as you would say, what it be like?
Oh, what it be like? What's up, Nicole? And Eunice, or should I say you nice?
Nice.
Good morning.
Oh, man. Good morning, cuzzo. Sound like you out and about, man. Sound like you out and about.
I'm about. I don't know about being out. Or vice versa, depending on how you want to take it.
Right.
Shit. Hey, man, I realize that I'm not the weed guy.
Right.
You know
Okay.
Like,
okay.
I think yesterday I made an attempt to roll up some marijuana.
Right.
Messed up the whole situation. There's really like an art to that thing, right?
Yo, it is like such an art.
Like, I found out that Snoop got a guy that travels with him, and all he do is just roll the weed.
Yo,
you don't get paid to just roll
the
weed.
Hold on. Yo, the visual that just came to my mind just now of the dude that's there just rolling the weed. Oh my God, yo. You said this is your only job.
That's it. Can you imagine him getting fussed at because something might be wrong with the weed? Come on, man. What's going on? When I hold this between my fingers, man, it's supposed to be this far apart.
Right.
You're like, yo, what is this far? Right. And I'm listening. I was listening to the Hamiltons.
Yo, hold on, yo. Before you tell me about that, I gotta tell you this about this blunt situation. Yo, I know what you saying is true because check this out. I go to my mechanic 2 days ago, right? So I go there because I think that my oil light is on. But come to find out, man, I'm looking at the oil light, or thinking I'm looking at the oil light. I'm looking at the tire pressure light the whole time, right? But I thought it was in the shape of like an oil lamp, bro. I was having a moment, bro. And this and my Honda takes light oil, so I'm always paranoid about it. But I go to my mechanic, right? Find out that I don't need anything for my car, so I don't have to pay him for anything, right? Because I ain't getting nothing done. But since I was there for a few minutes and he helped me figure it out, I was like, you know what? I'll at least roll something with him, whatever, before we go. So, but
that's like a handshake nowadays.
It's like a handshake, right? Right. It's like, so So I'm like, cool, man. You want to roll something before go? He's like, cool. So I go grab a cigar, but I don't. It's been like at least a year and a half since I rolled anything because I just vape now. I just use the vaporizer or whatever. So long story short, I come back and I'm like, yeah, man. Well, I will get started on it, but I don't know how to roll. Like, it's been a minute since I rolled. He's like, man. He's like, it's all good, man. It's all good. But I wasn't even going to attempt it, bro. Because I was like, yo, I'm not messing up these cigars, man. Because I already know if you don't roll regularly, yo, your skills be like trash. And then you're going to make everybody mad because you fucking up the point.
Yeah, people get like, yo, they really get upset. Like, almost like, man, give me that weed, man. Let me roll this thing. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I seen a dude roll a little joint. And I actually looked at the joint and said, wow, that's pretty.
Right. Yo, that's how I believe it's probably the same dude. Yo, I believe it probably was the same dude as my mechanic, yo. Cause when I look at it, yo, it's like pretty as shit. Yo, I know what you're saying, bro.
Yo, I'm like, yo, like, man, I was just, surfing through YouTube and I typed in the Hamiltones.
Right.
Then one of their songs came up, man. They just sitting in the green room backstage, man. They just singing. And so I hit play, man, and the one dude just came out of nowhere and was like, somebody roll the weed. I said, yo, they singing. Listen, bro. It was like, somebody roll the weed. And then all of them came together in harmony. And then it was like, I want to get higher than the motherfucker. Higher than a motherfucker. Yes, it is. Higher than the motherfucker. I said, yo, you have got to be kidding me, bro. I said,
yo, my God.
This is what we do.
Right.
Yo, that ain't creativity, right, yo. He was singing a song and giving instructions and
at the same time.
At the same time.
Yo, that's crazy. And here's a wild part. Like, I've never heard that joint, but just from me knowing the way that they sing, and the quality of their voices. Oh, you just turned into half of a robot for like 5 seconds. So what you said? I missed the last thing you said. That shit was like eating that.
I said, alter ego Tron. He always trying to say stuff.
Right.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I was saying if a person that don't smoke hear that song, they might say, I might just have to give this marijuana a try.
Right.
Yeah, man, that is so creative, bro.
Yo, Hamiltones is dope, period, man. I think you might have been the one that turned me on to Hamiltones. But I can't remember what the first thing I heard from them was.
Man, they just they one of those groups that keeps you holding on to music, to real music. You be like, yes, maybe we can turn this thing back around.
Right. Yeah, you could feel them when they sing.
I'm supposed. Yeah. Good morning, how that feel to you when you sing good morning to people and nobody say that?
Oh, well, here's the thing. So it's funny because for me in real life, I'm used to that. I'm used to that and used to like not letting it bother me. So it's funny because whether I'm out in the streets or whether I'm in these Clubhouse streets, it's funny because it don't bother me.
Like which street?
Like, whatever.
Which street is Clubhouse on? So you always say these Clubhouse streets.
These Clubhouse streets, right.
For some reason, you there all the time. Like, yo, did he move or something?
Right.
I'm always on these Clubhouse streets. Or I'm like, when I was like that, that must just be where he stay at during the week.
Right.
Because on the weekend, he ain't at Clubhouse. Matter of fact, he ain't even on the Clubhouse on the weekend.
Right. Yeah, man. I stay in the house, bro. I tell everybody, man, like when it comes to this environment, man, even before I started, I was just like looking at it. I was like, okay, I already know people. You're gonna have some people that's out here doing some good things, trying to help people, doing some amazing things, and then you're gonna have some people that's out here doing some bullshit. And I was like, you know what side I'm on? I'm on the productivity side. So I was just like, man, I'm gonna get in this environment. And then after I initially that first week was just kind of going around and just exploring and just kind of getting to know the environment. Man, at some point I was like, yeah, I ain't gotta be out here no more. I'm good. I'm gonna just do my thing right here, focus on one thing.
Man, I actually went out yesterday. I was making some runs, taking care of some errands, like they normally say out here.
Right.
And man, you know me, my crazy mind, man, I just be thinking of all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So I was just like, with this COVID thing and everybody wearing masks and stuff like that, I was just outside yesterday just thinking about different ways to approach women if you're interested in them. You see a woman you're interested in, but she got on a mask, you don't know what she look like, you don't want to be, you don't want to roll up on somebody that you're really not facially attracted to.
Right.
And women can't have that excuse now talking about, well, you only hollered at me, you only say something to me because of my body. Well, lady, your face is covered up. What you want me to do? Tell me that one. What argument you want to bring out? Oh, you just saw my booty and done this, that. Well, hello, your booty ain't got no mask on. What you want me to do?
You'll say your booty. Yeah, that's so funny, yo.
I saw this woman, man. She had a really, really nice body, man. So I was just like, man, what can I do so I can see her face? Something, man.
Right.
I was like, so yeah. I was just walking up to him, and I just walked up to him and was like,
yeah,
Tracy, is that you? Like, nah, I ain't no Tracy. She pulled her mask down. She's like, no, that's not Tracy. I was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. But man, you are gorgeous. How you doing?
Yo. Oh my God, yo, this is funny because it's making me think about now that you said this, I've never thought about this, right? But it's like, should you then be on the other side judged if after you talk to someone, maybe you get to a point or to a place where they take off the mask and you be like, oh, never mind. Should you be judged if it don't work out?
But see, the thing is the trick is, what do you do to get that mask off?
To get it off so you can really see right.
What do you do? Now, of course, you might have some men who want to be, I'm casting over, I'm suave. You might just walk up to a woman and be like, hey, how you doing?
Right.
And she might say, how you doing? Or whatever, And you're like, well, look, I was just walking by and I saw you and I could see the silhouette of your body.
Right.
So I just came over here. I want to talk. I really want to see how beautiful you are. She gonna be like, oh my God, that is so nice. She pull down that mask and be like, ooh, I got you all in check.
Hey, yo, did you just say, yo, you put out a mask, yo, and Busta Rhymes?
I got you all in check.
Hey, yo. Oh, my God, yo. Yo, that is funny as shit. Because, look, yo, you literally made me think. I've never thought about this before. But you're absolutely right. It's like
Yeah, bro.
It's like, if you're attracted from the physical aspect, then the face, and I'm telling you, this is brilliant, because the face is usually the first thing, when it comes to just being a human being, when it comes to evolution, when it comes to us seeking, like, that's the first thing. But now you only get a chance to judge that 50%. So, like,
you might have people out here judging people.
Oh, that's funny as shit, yo.
Yo, you gonna start having people out here judging people because of the type of mask they got on.
Right.
They walk up to you, hey, how you doing? Nah, I don't talk to people who wear cloth masks. If you ain't got the
right.
hospital blue.
Hospital blue, right.
Nah, see, I don't deal with immature people like that.
Right.
So I'm like, you judging my whole content by the type of mask I got on?
Hey, yo.
I don't want to deal with a woman like you
anyway. Hey, yo, that's funny as shit, yo. That is hilarious. Cause it's so true, yo. One day somebody gonna be judged like, can you see this dude still wearing hospital blue mask? Like, where they do that at? Where they do that?
Like,
He don't have on this.
They still doing that?
Yo, like, yo, he don't have on this, his African print. Yo, if you can see me on FB right now, oh my God, yo, I got my African print joint. Yo, if one day people are judged by not having this kind of mask instead of the hospital blue, yo, that's funny, yo.
Right.
That's hilarious, though, yo.
You'll be like, oh my God, girl, look at that. Her homegirl's talking to each other. Look at this dude over here. Look at this dude. Look, girl, look. His mask don't even match his shoes. Or his shoes.
Right.
Look at this. You could say, no, that ain't the type of man for me. Then you go outside and you'll get into Maserati and shit.
Right.
These girls like, girl, you should have went for him.
Yeah.
That mask is the same color as that car, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God, yo, that is funny.
Yeah, yo, I'm trying to get upset with you, and you be all nice and everything, how you doing and everything, and then she pull that mask down, and she like, woo-ah! I got you all in check. All you see is Busta Rhymes under that mask.
Yo, let me tell you this.
Like,
yo, I'm gonna do something real quick. This is hilarious. Before we go to our next segment, everybody, with Nicole Smith, who's our BPS spotlight this morning. Before we go to our next segment, if you are tripping up for what we're talking about right now, and if you think that people are going to be judged by their mask one day, or you got something to say about that, throw up your hand real quick. Jump up to the stage. I want to hear what you got to say. We're gonna take one person. Just come up, tell us what you think, and then we're gonna jump to Nicole in a second. Yo, this is hilarious as hell, because you bring up a real good point. It's like, number one, again, we're used to at the very least, if you're attracted to somebody, it's because you see in their whole face. At this point, you can't. So, like you said, the question is, you gotta figure out, how can you get that mask down?
Right. How can I get that mask down?
Like, just enough. So that's a brilliant point. That's a brilliant point, yo. And then, like you said, at some point, it is gonna be hilarious, because people are gonna be judged by their mask. People are gonna be like, "Oh, he's still wearing that hospital blue. He ain't upgraded yet."
Mm-hmm.
And just the funny things that we go through as human beings, man. That's hilarious, yo.
Like, girl, he got the mask when COVID first came out.
Right.
Now you got to upgrade. He's still wearing the mask like if you wearing some old tennis shoes. Like,
right.
Like, look.
Oh man.
Like, girl, the loops on his mask don't even go all the way around his head. That ain't his mask. He just stole somebody's mask. Look at this. Like, girl, that ain't a real nigga right there. Look, he faking. That's somebody else's mask he wearing right there.
Yo, that is hilarious, yo. Oh my God. And here's the funny part. The mask that I just held up on Facebook, this is one of the masks that I got just for what you're talking about. I was like, man, I might as well start grabbing masks that, you know, that work with the outfit. Like, 'cause I mean, like this is about what it's about to be for the next year, you know? So it's hilarious. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna jump to Nicole Smith. We're gonna talk to her, and then from there, if there's anybody that want to come up and joke with us about this is hilarious. We're gonna jump on that afterwards, and yeah, we're gonna see what it be like. Oh my God, y'all.
What it be like?
Whew, so what you getting into today, man? What you about to run off to?
Hey man, I'm about to go down to the emissions, you know, get the emissions done on my car.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stand out there until they get finished. That's about it.
Yo. Yo, the next time somebody asks me some shit like that, yo, I'm gonna explain just like that, yo.
Yo, people don't be real no more, yo. Just what you ready to do. I'm ready to tell you exactly what I'm gonna do. It's gonna happen just like this.
Just like
so. People will never tell you like, yeah, me and my baby gonna go to the movies, get something to eat,
right,
go home, you know, check on the kids, shower and everything, and have sex. They'll never tell you that.
Right.
Right, but you asked me what I was gonna do, so I'm gonna give it.
Give it to you. Hey, you asked. Oh man, yo, that's funny.
Man, look. Yo, we can talk about this all day, man. I'm actually putting it in my next comedy show, yo. I did a whole routine on it. I wrote it up and everything yesterday in my research out in the Clubhouse streets.
So, oh man, I love that, cuzzo. Golly.
But I still be close by though. I'll be close by, man, and still rap a taste about whatever, man. So
you know it.
Bring Nicole up and go to the next segment. And I
holla. Oh man, good times, fam. Good times. Yes. And so thank you. I want to thank you for your patience, especially because I'm mindful of people's schedules. Good times. Let the good times roll. So I'm going to say hello to everyone again, and we're going to bring up Nicole, our BPS spotlight of the day. That is our business, product, and service spotlight. One of the things that's so important to me is to be able to highlight the good people of our community, this community called the human race. And so as all of us get together and rap a taste, I like to be able to connect with new people. So I want to say good morning to Nicole. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well, or as they say, all good in the hood. I'm doing
well. In these Clubhouse streets.
In these Clubhouse streets. Look, for me, it's streets.
I'm just trying to figure out how you bring me up after Caesar. Yeah. Had me in tears early this morning.
Oh my goodness. You know, so me and my cousin Caesar, when I tell you these good times, talking about letting these good times roll, these good times that like you have just heard have been happening for years. We're laughing about this kind of crazy stuff. Oh my goodness. So yeah, my sides were hurting. I know your sides were hurting.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going back. I have to go back and reassess my mask. And, yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh man. So good morning to you. Happy Monday.
Yes, Monday. As we stated earlier, Monday. Some people don't like Monday, but Monday is the start of a fresh new week. If you didn't get it done last week, get it done this week.
Let's talk about it.
Yes.
I love Mondays. When I say love Mondays.
Yes.
It's just like you said.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just like you say, for me, it's another day. It's another Monday. It's the top of a new week, but most importantly for me, it's a new moment,
Yes.
At the top of all that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So now what are you going to accomplish not only today, but what are you going to get done this week?
Yes.
How are you going to lean into that greatness this week?
Yes. So yeah, I'm always thinking about that. How am I going to lean in? Where do we go from here, Brain? Where do we go from here?
Absolutely. And that's some of the things that I focus on in helping my clients, helping them see how to lean into their greatness. Because do you know how many people I have spoken to and they don't know what their greatness is? And that makes me sad, but I help them do that.
Yes. I feel like, I understand what you say when you say it makes you sad. But then, because of who we are, it immediately turns that frown upside down because that's what makes us happy to help people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's interesting how, the puzzle fits together. You have those of us that have a need, and then you have those of us that have a need to give.
Yes.
And how it works together.
Yes.
And
it can be hard sometimes because I wanna help everyone, but I have to say, if you try to help everyone, you will help no one.
No one.
So,
no one.
If you are ready to level up,
yes.
If you're ready to lean into your greatness, that's where Nicole steps in. You have to be ready though, for the good, the bad, and the ugly, because you're gonna find out some things about yourself that you may not like.
That's it. It's interesting though.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
We're gonna work through that.
What I find so interesting is that it's gonna be okay, and not only is it gonna be okay, but it's what makes it so exciting. It's like many times if you have a person that's at that place, that's even have done what I call the serendipity and the intention to arrive at that point. Chances are it's what they're looking for, even if they don't know it in the forefront of their consciousness.
Right.
You know what I mean? But even just subconsciously, the driving factors, the things that, happened, all the situations and the scenarios and the cause and effects. What I find more often than not is that the student is ready, the teacher has appeared, and then I feel like then it's up to the teacher to actually have enough, I would say, discernment, flexibility.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Discernment. Yes.
Let's get it.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get it.
So we'll dive in, but let's back up a little. I would love folks to understand.
Let's get it.
What I do and how I discern whether you're ready or not. How about that?
All right. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
We will reverse engineer. I love it.
Yeah, love it. So I will follow your lead, Aaron. This is your show, man.
Oh, yeah.
This is your show, my friend.
Yes. And you are following my lead. You got it. Go right where you were going.
Yes. Yep. So I'm Nicole Smith. I am CEO and founder of JMS Creative Leadership Solutions. I am out on LinkedIn. I am out on Instagram. I am out on Facebook. I'm in the Clubhouse streets, as they say.
Yes.
What we are a boutique leadership development and coaching practice. So the creative part, which is in the title of my business, or in the name of my business, is the fact that it's not off the shelf type of work.
Yeah.
I help you find solutions so you can see and unlock your potential and help create a greater impact.
Yes.
Personally and professionally, because my friends, if you think that you can separate the two,
nope.
You cannot. Your professional life rolls into your personal life. That's and vice versa.
Yes.
I am a certified emotional intelligence coach and practitioner. And the practitioner part means I can administer assessments that are following the ethics of the American Psychological Association. And I'm also a behavior consultant. Yeah. And I'm a professional life coach. So I get in your stuff.
Right. Or as we say here on the show, get in your shit.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that, but I didn't know how your audience would feel. But yes, I will get in your shit. Okay? But that's where I say, Aaron, you have to be ready. So maybe this will resonate with your audience. You have your ideal state. You have a deep desire of what, an envision of what your ideal state should look like. I want you to visualize that. I want you to see it. But then you have your current state, and your current state is not where you want to be. So the gap between your current state and your ideal state, that's where Nicole steps in. I help with that gap, but you have to know that there's a gap. And that's where I step in. And my friends, emotional intelligence, if you want to be a leader in anything you do, emotional intelligence is that competency that you will have to increase, that you will have to work on, because your IQ, your intelligent quotient, doesn't matter anymore. I don't care how smart you are.
Right.
If you do not have your emotions together,
let's get it.
Yep. If you don't have your emotions together, you're not going to level up.
You know what I love about EQ is that it gives you the ability to raise your IQ at will. At will. Yes,
your EQ, your emotional quotient, you can continuously work on that. Mm-hmm. It helps you cope with life's challenges. And if this year has not been a challenge for you, then I need to come live where you are. Right. It helps. But the most important thing, Aaron, is it also helps you understand the perception that others have of you. So we can walk around and say, I don't care what other people think. You need to.
You know, I'll tell you, it's an interesting thing because I agree with you. The thing I see is the levels. You know, it's like what I find is that you wind up realizing more what you know about yourself, so you can better. Let's see, how can I put this? You can know how to better position and where to let in what other people think. It gives you a better, it gives you the ability to step outside yourself and say, okay, instead of me just being right here, I'm able to step back and see the whole equation. Now that I have deeper self-awareness, I can actually consider what others think, because I can look at it in a healthy way now.
Correct. It's who matters. Mm-hmm. The perception of who matters. Now, I'm not gonna put focus, or what is it, major focus on minor things, and that's the same thing with who matters. Mm-hmm. If you're trying to gain validation from people who do not matter, you're exhausted and you're frustrated right now. I can feel it. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
It's interesting because it's this process of you understanding, you being an arbiter of who matters and why they matter. You being like the security guard and the cleanup person. It's an interesting thing. I want to ask you this. When it comes to this thing of emotional intelligence, the thing that is so significant to me and that I always hone in on is the journey of a person and their story and what brings them to the place where they are. So I'm curious for you to tell me more about your personal journey as far as how you got to this place of even on the emotional intelligence journey. And what I mean by that is when I think about my own life, I've been on this journey since I started because of my mom. My mom was a 36-year school teacher who, from the time I came out and from the time I could even see and look around, I was being exposed and educated, and I was being exposed to things that would develop emotional intelligence from day one, even before I learned about it as a term, So I'm always fascinated with people's stories. I want you to take me back to that time when this became a real thing in your life, both in practice and then in realization of what it was.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you asked that, because I've been attempting to tell the story more.
Yeah.
Aaron, when I say it started at the age of 4.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
It started at the age of 4. To your point of, I didn't. Of course, at 4, I didn't know what emotional intelligence was. I don't think anybody did.
No, yeah.
And I'm dating myself a little bit. But yeah, at the age of 4, because I grew up in an abusive household. It got better. My mother remarried to who I now consider my dad. But then she was diagnosed with mental health and a mental health illness, which then was very emotional for all of us. But with mental health illness, her emotions took forefront. Mine took a back seat.
I get it. Right.
So went through that through my childhood. I had to grow up pretty fast, got into college. I got a psychology degree.
Love it.
So I have always been into human behaviorism and what makes people tick and trigger. So fast forward, starting my journey in the corporate world when I was about the age of 20 while I was in college. So that corporate world journey, taking me through different leaders, different leadership development. I was in training. So again, human behaviorism, how do people learn? How do people tick?
Yes.
And then I dove into emotional intelligence probably about 10, 12 years ago and really understood what it was and that it's not an emotional thing as people think. It helps you understand, like you said, gain a keen sense of self-awareness and understand who you are. And that's what we're struggling with today. We're struggling with identity. So me learning to deal with my emotions and increase my emotional intelligence because it never was the forefront of my family. I then had to decide which way I wanted to go. I can either take all the teachings, like you said, from your mother, the teachings and learnings, and make a career out of it. But I realized too, I love helping people in this area. So it wasn't just, I like emotional intelligence. I'm intentional about my work and I love what I do.
I love that.
Love what I do.
I love that. I'm always looking for connecting points. And it's one of the things I appreciate about even this environment that we're in, because the ability to find connecting points within people, it's real easy and it's real doable, especially when you're talking about things like emotional intelligence and, and finding people under certain topics. I'm always fascinated because I see. Did you ever watch The Price is Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So look, that's gonna be the next room. That I watched The Price is Right. Like, who didn't? Let the debate.
I mean, come on.
So, what was your favorite game on that show? Did you have a favorite game within that show? Yeah. What was your favorite game on the show?
I don't know if I had a favorite game, but the first thing that came to my mind when you said that was that Plinko game. Where they sit at the top and drop the thing.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you.
Drop the little thing.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You know how I always laugh when people say this, so I'm gonna say this to you. So get off my phone. Get off of my phone. Get off. That was my favorite game too. And okay, so this is fascinating to me. I've had this conversation so many times with people. So the and I'm wondering if we connect here. So let me tell you why the Plinko game was my favorite.
Okay.
And then I'm curious to see. Okay. So for me, I have an original quote where I say, serendipity plus intention equals life. Serendipity plus intention equals life. And what I'm essentially saying with that is that this whole thing, this whole life, this whole world, this globe, you have this one big living organism, all these different happenings, all these different cause and effects that are causing and affecting and then affecting each other, blah, 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 right? So you just have this living organism. On it, everything happens. Things that we like and that feel good and things that don't. Things that don't feel good. But it's just all one thing. So when I look at this Plinko game, it's significant to me because it's literally based solely on the process and just what happens via serendipity and intention. There's no way for one person to be better at another person when it comes to Plinko. You know, you don't even have control over anything other than just letting go of this thing. And then from there, you have to allow the process to decide where it's going to fall. They might fall on $1, it might fall on 1 million.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's significant to me because, and it's why I like hearing stories, and when we're talking about emotional intelligence or anything else in life, because you get this chance to see how that played out in a person's life, how all the serendipities, the coach that talked to the kid when they were 12, or and just how it stacks up. So
how it stacks up, yes.
Okay, so why is Plinko for you? Why was that
I mean, you really like dove into that game. I'm gonna be honest with you. At that time, I just felt like the excitement of not knowing where it was going to land, and the excitement from the participant.
Yes.
Today, I think when I look at it and hearing your story, I'm going, yeah, you know how it stacks up, because someone can keep landing on the same number. But here's how I look at that too. If you keep landing on $1, what are you going to do to change your position, the way you release it? What are you going to do to change so you can hit more than $1?
Well, let me tell you this. I love this. Let me repeat that question back to you. When you hit the dollar, then the idea is, what are you going to change so that you can hit something different than $1, or you know that. Now,
something more.
Right, something more. Now, with that question, I'm gonna see if I can pose this as a question. It may be a statement though, but here's the thought. I think that the quote unquote point, but I already jumped into the land of subjectivity. I think I think that the highest quality of life, and the quote unquote, just take this as my opinion, the best path, or the path that we're mostly looking for, is the one where it's more so like, how can we accept even more the process of our lives as the Plinko game, whether we land on $1 or 1 million? How can we accept more? Because, and let me tell you why I say that. I love what you said about the Plinko game and what it means to you. Because when you said that, I was like, oh my goodness, what we see in that is actually connected. It's like mine was the yin and yours was the yang, and together they come together. Yours spoke about the acceptance of it all, because you talked about the excitement of the player and excitement of, and so I think that, yes, definitely we are, in many scenarios in our life trying to, figure out how can we change our realities, and how can we that's 100% the point. But then I feel like there's a layer under that where it's more so in line with acceptance of no matter what the piece that you can't control, the serendipity, and that kind of thing.
Well, listen to this. There's a couple of things here. If you don't like the position that you're in, if you keep only landing on $1,
yes.
This is where I tell people, you're not a tree. You can move. Move your position. Okay, move your position, because here's the thing. If you keep accepting that $1 and saying, that's all I can get, that's all I deserve, that's all I can earn, you have such a scarcity mindset. You have a poverty mindset. You do not have a growth mindset. And that's where I can step in, because I do a lot of mindset work, empowering the mind. Because this is where I tell people, you hang with me, I'll make you believe you can do anything.
Yes, I love
because
it.
you can change your position. So that Plinko game, if you are standing in the same position and you keep getting $1, then you're accepting that $1. If you're standing in the position,
that's interesting. That's very interesting.
But if you stand, spot and you keep getting $1 million, well then, okay, and $1 million is the highest you can go. Okay, well then you understand that position is you're getting an abundance. You're getting more. So I'm gonna stay here. If $1 million is the highest you can go in that game, of course, if you can go higher.
But here's the interesting.
Well, then change your position.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you. I do find something interesting about what you're saying, right? I definitely do understand the formula you're mentioning, but I don't think it applies to the Plinko game though, because if you think about it, in the Plinko game, you don't have a way to increase your odds of winning or getting a different outcome. Because the way that the pegs are all set up. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? It's like it's a different. But I do totally agree with what you're saying, because I think that that's definitely 1,000,000% applicable to so many situations in life. But but the reason why the Plinko game sticks out to me is because, okay, I have a quote where I say, my religion is acceptance over expectation. And the reason why I say that is not because it's not good to expect, like not at all. But I think about the Plinko game of it all, where you have a lot of control. And then there's like in the Serenity Prayer, grant me the wisdom to know the things that I can't change, or the things that just are inevitable. Because sometimes what we identify as $1 might be something like, I am sick and I should be able to, I've desired to things to change, but it might not be the acceptance, or the acceptance of what is might not be there. So it's an interesting thing. So yeah, anyway, not to go too far, but yeah, I had to bring that up with the Plinko game, because yeah, if you land on $1 in a Plinko game and you stand in one position, your position is not based on where it landed. It's literally just the serendipity and
of the game.
Yeah, the game. And then what it is more so your acceptance of the game, or that. Anyway, so yeah. But I love this. As you see, I like to chop it up about these kinds.
Yeah, well, it's just in life. Going back to just in life,
right?
It is your mindset. Mindset is everything. This is where I do workshops and I speak to groups. They always want to have a goal setting type of workshop. And I say, well, let's back up. Has anybody talked about mindset? Has anybody talked about the habits that you're focused on? Because you can go out and do goal setting. You can go out and do vision boards. And I love vision boards.
Right.
But your vision board will reflect your mindset.
It really
if you don't have your mindset squared away.
Right.
Or you will set unattainable goals.
Yes.
So trying to make $1 million in 12 months, but you're not doing any of the steps or the mindset work to get it to $1 million in 1 year.
Right.
Well, goal setting. And then also too, if your goals are not set up in the SMART format, the specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time frame, your goals will fade. If you just sit here and say, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. How?
Right.
How are you going to do that?
Right.
But you checked off that I set a goal. So, but this is where people want to do specific, for me, they want to talk about specific things. Like I want to increase, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
But I always go back to, let's talk about your emotional intelligence, because let me tell you, my friends, you increase your emotional intelligence, everything else will fall into place in regards to leadership competency, your lifestyle, your habits, your focus, your flexibility, all of that. Stop focusing on just one thing and let's look at the bigger picture of what's going on.
Oh my goodness. I love that. And I love the way you said that. It's one of those reasons why I love making connections, because we could go on for hours. Like this is such goodness. Oh, such goodness. If you could, can you tell me more about your actual services, and then of course, how to actually follow up and follow through on those services?
Absolutely. So Nicole Smith, CEO and founder of JMS Creative Leadership Solutions, and we provide coaching, which is one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching.
Yes.
I work with individuals. I work with organizations, small and large. I do leadership development where I actually am a facilitator. I'm a speaker. I do conferences.
Yeah.
And I can also I can provide different levels of coaching. So I have different program levels of coaching, because again, we customize it for you.
Yes,
I'm not an off the shelf type of person.
Right.
I coach the whole person.
Yeah.
So you said, I'm gonna get in your shit.
Yeah.
So you have to be ready.
Yes.
To be able to level up. People want to level up, but are you ready to do that? Because each level you go will demand a different you. And are you ready for that?
Yes.
So I provide, so when I say leadership development, we do workshops. I facilitate. I facilitate for universities. Like currently, I focus on leadership competencies, including diversity, equity, and inclusion. But I also coach individuals and teams on your goals, your values, emotional intelligence, your purpose. How do you want to go to the next level? My website, all my information, my website is jmscreatesleaders.com, but all my information is in my Clubhouse profile.
Right.
And on Aaron, you posted that wonderful Instagram. My
Thank
information
you.
is in there as well.
Did you like it? It?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you can go to my website, jmscreatesleaders.com.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is out there. I even give away some goodies, but I'm also a 3-time author, 3-time published author. So my books are out there as well.
Let me tell you, one of the biggest things I love about what you're saying as far as how you approach helping people is that you design the program or you design the process to fit the person.
Absolutely.
I know for us it's one of those of course, but it's just I just appreciate people when they understand that or when they operate like that, because if I always say, if you want to help people, you have to meet them where they are.
Yep.
And being able to do that and tailor and design. I'm a producer by trade. I started off my career, as a producer. And so I've always been about taking elements and putting them together to fit a situation or to bring about a vision. Absolutely. And so when I think about human design or us designing formulas, to help us as human beings, I just really, really appreciate that. And I just really appreciate the work that you're doing, and I want to let you know that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love what I do, and I want to be that person that you didn't have. Yeah. Maybe when I started my journey, I didn't have a me.
Yes.
So I want to be that person for you. I want to be that person for you. Absolutely.
One of my number one mentors online is Gary V. And
yes.
And Gary, he always talks about that's been my claim to fame. It was creating something that I desired or I wish I had when I was coming about my way. That's my entire music company came from that thought right there. And as Gary says, scratch your own itch. So I love that. I love your story. And like I was mentioning a few minutes ago, by all means, if you desire to hang around for a few, by all means, you can. You're actually, we're about to go into a segment with Sherry. And when you were saying things like leveling up and a few things, I was like, oh, goodness, I know Sherry is definitely going to have.
Hi, Sherry.
So she's coming up in a second. And by all means, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you, talking with you, chopping it up about emotional intelligence. I know this won't be our last. And
absolutely not.
Yeah. And so
absolutely not.
So if you have to go, I just want to wish you an amazing day today on purpose. And I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Aaron, thank you so much, my brother. And yes, we will definitely be speaking again, and you have an amazing day as well. Make sure you lean into that greatness this week, okay?
You know I will, and I appreciate you for affirming me in that way. In fact, the family wanted to say hello to you before you go. Okay. Go ahead, Sherry Caesar.
Nicole, would it be like?
Yeah, hello, my friend. I want to let you know that I have a really, really nice mask. I mean, it's nice. It accents everything, okay?
That's good. We don't want you to be be out there pulling your mat down.
Sherry, you want to say hello?
Yeah. Good morning, Nicole. So awesome to hear you this morning.
You the same, Sherry, and happy International Women's Day to you, my sister.
Yes.
Happy International Women's Day.
Yes.
It's all about us.
Yes, it's always all about us. Nice to meet you, Sherry. Nice to meet you.
You as well.
Sherry, I knew that when she was talking about leveling up and a few other things, I was like, oh, I already know Sherry's going to be like,
you
high
already
five.
Know.
Yes.
That's my favorite phrase.
Yes. I actually have that on my website. Yes.
Yeah, I love the term level up. Like, how are you going to do it?
How are you going to do it? Yep. How are you going to do it? You have to own it.
Yes. So again, this is why I love having this space, because we get a chance to meet other tribe members, people who are on the journey, same journeys, and might be on a different side of the earth or a different part of the country, but we get a chance to meet each other. So this has been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Nicole, have an amazing, amazing day.
You do the same.
Yes. And I also want to quickly refresh the room. And I want to say that if there's anyone who'd like to come to the stage, the goal is to say, hey, to check in with you, see how you're doing, see how your mom and them and your pop and them and them. And we're about to go into our segment with Sherry, where each day we chop it up with our refresh moment, which is where we talk about creative branding and marketing strategy, because that's what another one of the things that Sherry and I do outside of the millions of other things like you, other beautiful people. We're all doing so many things. And so we chop it up about that. And on Mondays, of course, we chop it up about the Clubhouse Town Hall, give you the recap and tell you what's happening in this app, what to pull up under your fingers and what to look out for. So on that tip, if you'd like to come to the stage, you can give a wave, come on up. And if not, you want to hang around and continue to make this your background track to your day, by all means, you can do that too. Thanks for coming through, as always. And to the peeps hanging out on FB and YT, big salute. Let me see if anybody's talking about anything. Okay, we got Nicole Smith. Yes. Thank you, Nicole, for dropping the information there. And my homie, T. Clark. Okay, Terrence, if you don't have an iPhone, bro, you have got to get the hell on Clubhouse, because I've been telling the story. For those that don't know, my good buddy, Terrence Rashawn Clark, is literally the reason why you hear this beat in the background. He's literally the reason why. One of my childhood greatest friends. We grew up together. I started out music together with my brother in 94. Wow. And he was the producer of the group. And we started out together. And then one day he got a car. He was one of the first people to get a car in our crew, in our neighborhood. He got a car. He got a girlfriend. And he got the hell up away from us.
I need one.
Exactly. And so he literally, we joke about this to this day. From that point, when he got the hell away from us, I was like, oh no, I can't let the group go down. And so I'm like, you know what? I got a pretty decent job. I was in the 10th grade, had a great supportive mother who allowed me to borrow $1,100 to buy my first piece of equipment and be able to be on my way to figuring out and uncovering a new aspect of who I was. And it was all because of my homie, T. Clark. Thank you, bro, for stopping the music process so I could start. But he's gone on to do great and amazing things and is still doing things. Brother, I love you, man. It's good to see you. Come on over, fam. I also want to refresh the room real quick. Say hello to Etta Fly, Felicia, T, Jason, Marcy, Amber, Delia, Eunice. And so as we move forward with our segment with Sherry, again, if you'd like to come on up. And everybody, let's say a good morning to Sherry. Good morning, Sherry.
Sherry, what it be like?
What's happening?
What you doing this morning, girl?
About to slay dragons. That's what I do.
Let's get it. Let's slay these dragons.
Somebody roll the weed.
Great. Yes. So we are here. It is 8:48, and again, for those that are here, what we do on Monday. First of all, every day we have segment with Sherry, again, where we chop it up about things related to creative branding, strategy, and marketing. Because we help people day to day who have personal brands and who have businesses, who are entrepreneurs. We help them with all things related to those things, creative brand and marketing strategy. So we chop it up, give some thoughts, some things for you to think about. And as we lead towards our experiences, like on Wednesdays, when we do our Refresh Wednesdays on Clubhouse, where we chop it up with people do power sessions, as well as our consulting services off the app. But on Mondays, we do a recap of the town hall. So here we are. Sherry?
Yes.
Okay, so Sherry, everybody was talking about that it was boring as hell. And and I seem to be one of the only people that didn't think that it was boring as hell. Yeah.
Yeah, so about that. Let's talk. Okay, you go first.
Well, okay, so here we go. I'm going to start talking about some of the highlights and some of the things that we should be excited about. So, Will.i.am, Malcolm McDowell, the list goes on and on. There were so many people in this app that hosted great rooms or were hosted in rooms. I happened to drop into the Will.i.am room, tell you, and I just was watching him on TV the other day and just appreciating him because of what he's done in not only music, but in culture, period, and in the tech world. Sherry, did you know he was a tech geek too?
I did to some degree.
Yeah.
But I don't know as much about him being in it as I do about Hammer.
About Hammer being in tech?
Hammer and Kim Kardashian, that's the funny thing. Most people don't know. They are very heavily into tech.
Didn't know that. So, Will.i.am, of course, is deep into tech as well. And, I just appreciate how he's impacted culture and that kind of thing, too. So he happened to be in the room, and I happened to be in there right around the time he was talking. It's just really cool. Again, another reason why I love this app so much, the 6 degree of separation remover. There were so many things that they highlighted. I didn't write them all down when it just came to all the amazing rooms that were in different directions, But the biggest thing that they're excited about is the cultural translation. They're excited about how this app is reaching the new, so many cultures, so many different countries day by day, and how everybody's just participating together to keep this as a vibrant and healthy environment, So really, really happy about that.
Yeah. And the culture and international aspect of it all is really, they're really, I love the way that they're growing that. They're even changed the follow suggestions for international users, so that if you're a non-US location, you'll get better follow suggestions now.
Right.
And then they also added an improvement for if you're inviting friends who are outside of the country.
Right.
They fixed the codes on that, so that's good.
Yeah, definitely excited about that. I'm happy about the fact that discovery is at the top of the list, helping us within the app to have a deeper and better experience as far as us discovering other people, other rooms, other clubs that we're interested in, other environments, because honestly, that's the best way to serve. It's one of the top priorities to keep when you're building products like this. You know what I mean? To keep the user experience just going to the next level of value, the next level of engagement, with how good of an experience that we're having. So excited about that. Here's the product roadmap. Let's talk about this real quick. If you don't know, now you know. You can create, right? You can create your own club now, right within your profile.
Hold on, can we have a moment?
Right.
Everybody say amen. All the folks in the back.
Yep. And a woman and We are happy.
We've been trying to create a club since November.
O-M to
Thank
the
you, Jesus.
freaking G. O-M to the freaking G.
And I have my first guest, and he's in the room, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Jason Winters.
Yes, brother Jason. What's happening,
We're
fam?
going to do Self-Care Sunday next Sunday.
Shit, I'm so excited.
In my club, so I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Just the fact that you can say in my club. Right? I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. So yes, people, we are able to create our own clubs now and not have to wait on approval. Here's how you do it. If you click over to your Instagram profile, I'm sorry, not your Instagram profile, your bio here, all you have to do is scroll right to the bottom of your profile. And then you're going to see a little plus button. And then boom, you'll be able to go there. You'll be able to give your club a name. I'll give you a couple things to know. So number one, it cannot be over 25 characters. And right now you may have an issue if you try to type in a name that someone has already taken or somebody already has. That's going to be relaxed in the near future because they want to shift more towards allowing for certain scenarios where it makes sense, where people will have similar names, like on other platforms where you can create groups, say like on Facebook, but they're going to use ranking in order to help us to see at the top of our feed the one that we may be looking for when we type it in, which I think is a better strategy, even though I understand the both sides of the coin, you know, as far as whether that should be a thing or not. But at any rate, 25 characters or less, or no more than 25. And yeah, you won't be able to name your club if someone else has that same name. And other than that, you could let the good times roll. You know, the one thing I would say as a word of caution, a word of discretion, would be for many people to maybe not check the let members start rooms right away, just because you may have good intentions, but it may get out of control. And as I always say, it's the measure twice, cut once kind of thing. So you rather be able to, have things in place so that you don't have to clean up something than to have to try to clean up a mess. So the point is, yeah, you might want to leave that off. And yeah, you pick topics. You have to pick 3 topics. You can only pick 3 that relate to your club so that other people, when they're searching, can come across your club. And then as far as the description, as far as I know, it can be as many characters as you like. So have a blast. And you have to put your profile pic there too.
Yep. That would be correct.
Sherry, I can't believe that we're at this moment. I put in a club, man, 2 months ago maybe, and then I did it like 5 times after that. But I couldn't get upset. I mean, this was a great problem to have. They have an 8 to 9 person staff, and it's growing so rapidly that there was no way they could answer all our requests. So definitely glad to hear about that. Yes.
I can connect with my tribe, like in a much more simple way. So shout out to the 40-ish club, because that's the women 40-ish and over. The name of my club.
Yes. Shout out to the 40-ish and over club. Yes.
The ish part. That's the part.
I love it. Especially since I had something to do with it. I'm so happy.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I'm just happy, And then so here, so I was going through a few different names. Originally, the name, when I first came on Clubhouse, the name of my club was going to be the Clubhouse Accountability Academy. I'll put it at the top of my bio while I was waiting. And then at some point, I thought that maybe it wasn't approved because the name Clubhouse was in it. Even though that wasn't the case, I decided to go for a different name. Then it became the Accountability Partners Academy. So that's when I tried that with this formula. And of course, it was over 25 characters, so couldn't do that. So I just went for accountability partners. So it'd be the Accountability Partners Club. And that was already taken. And I couldn't put a period behind it. And it goes on and on.
Right.
So after going through a few different names, all that were cool, I came down to this. My club will be the AP family. It's going to be that. The AP family, and the AP stands for, of course, Accountability Partners. But it's also a double entendre for me because my first name is Aaron, my middle name is Prentice, and so those are my initials as well. So it has a personal taste to it, and vibe and feel means something to me to the heart, and then it means something to me because of my whole desire to be here, which is to be an accountability partner for others. So yeah,
for sure. I'm excited for you, for me.
Yes.
For all the people who have been crying about clubs.
I know, right?
Yes, we're in. We're finally in.
We are finally here. So next up on the product roadmap, higher quality audio. So now you have the ability to tap those three dots that's in the upper right-hand part of the screen, and you should see an option there now that says audio quality. Now, mine right now is on low. So what I'm going to do is switch mine to high, and let's see what happens. See if you can hear a difference in my voice. Do I sound better? Okay, I'll take that as a So now you can select from high, you can select medium, or high, normal, and low. So you might ask, like, why would you select low? And so that's for if you're in an area where your reception is not too good and you need it to be consistent, even if it's not like the top pristine quality, you need it to be consistent where it doesn't break up. You would select low. So I'm excited about that. I'm so excited about that.
So no more, well, I won't say no more, but a lot less of, can you hear me?
Right.
Still there? Can you hear me?
Right. Now, Sherry, I'm just waiting on, I feel like they need to let me in the back room office where the gears turn in the engineering room. I could probably do this. I've had zero software development experience, and I could probably do this, Sherry. They need to make the update where it is auto mic mute when you hit the stage. Oh my God.
Yeah, they've been talking about that. Hopefully it will be.
And it's funny because literally all it seems like is like, if I don't know a damn thing about code, but I imagine that it's like if you have 1110, that it literally just needs to be 1111. Like it seems like it's simple because it seems like a simple one up, but it may not be, probably not. But yeah, that's my one. And then my second one, of course, and I would love to hear an amen from the AP morning room later on if anybody wants to come to the stage around this. I wanted to say it yesterday in the town hall recap, but I didn't get a chance to. If they could just take that little piece of paper right above our heads, right to the left of your profile pic, and if they could remove the community guidelines from there, since they're already in the gear icon, and just make that a dock where when you touch it, you see the flashing cursor, and we could take notes right there. That way, you could take notes in app with just a blank little piece of paper that's on the top of your screen, instead of doing like what I'm doing right now, which is leaving from out of my app to go to my notes in order to take notes or to read from there. So yeah. Do you think that they should do that, Sherry? Do you think am I being extra, or is that basic? Is that,
if it makes you happy, I'm gonna go with it because I just feel like that's why you have a note app in your phone. But I do understand. All jokes aside, I do understand. I think it does make sense that you would be able to take notes within that in the platform. So that's good. I'm not mad.
And here's my way to balance it out. I don't want anything else other than that. Like I don't ever want a DM direct feature on here where it's DMs mailbox inside. I don't want that. I don't want the ability to add video ever. I don't want text. I don't want photo.
No more video.
Right. I don't want any of that. But yes, because again, when I take notes within something, if you could have the ability to not have to leave your app, just so you could do things like, number one, what if you're the next person they call? Wouldn't it be nice just to literally not have to flip back and, to just be right there? And like I said, it doesn't seem like a huge invention because it wouldn't be any bells or whistles. It'd literally just be the basics. But anyway, that's my one desire. So link to profile and link to club is coming in this week's release. Woo! I am happy about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a game changer right now because you won't have to go through trying to like grab a link and put it in your profile on Instagram every week or any of that. Like you can just put it in your bio and be done with it.
Just be done with it. I love the fact that with it, right? You gotta be done with it. I like the fact that I'll be able to say what I've been wanting to say to my over 80,000 followers on other platforms. Plus, I've been wanting to just post a video or post a post that just said, hey, here's my link directly to my Clubhouse profile. So first of all, before you even join, so you can just see what I'm doing over there. Like you can see my bio, you can see what this is, even just for you to say, wow, this is interesting. And then from there to be able to immediately follow me, immediately follow my club, immediately follow my events. So that's coming in this week's fucking release. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
Obviously, I can tell.
Listen, I'm excited to be in this moment of history, these moments, because again, y'all got to realize, yes, there might be 10 million people in this app now, but that's still a small, not like this. We're still on the side where this has not yet really popped. And we got a chance to be in during the earlier parts and not only get a feel, but learn how to be ambassadors to host other great experiences for other people. It was my favorite thing about what happened here the other day when the room just flooded with new people. I was happy about the fact that we got a chance to just be our beautiful selves and show people their first experience, because that's what I feel like. I feel like our room must have been like at the top of something for a second, like enough for everybody to pour in. And we got a chance to show them a good time and a good experience. I don't take that for granted, being able to be a good example in this environment. So that's the product roadmap. Those are the things. And I'll breeze past the Q&A. I'll breeze through the Q&A. How do you see clubs being used? They said that they see excelled creativity, which makes sense. I so agree with that. That's what I was thinking myself. What we would accomplish in 3 months, we'll accomplish in 3 weeks as far as just learning. The creativity will grow. We talked about duplicate club names. One thing I do want to talk about real quick is so when there are new people, when someone is new and you're talking to them on the stage, when you click their profile, the top bar is going to say report for trolling in red. It's something that kind of caught me too as well. And I just want to prepare people for that, because what it gave me the impression of was that this person might be someone who was already reported before. So it made me a little bit extra on edge. And I don't know if this has happened to anybody else. If so, I would love, this is me just mentioning it for what they talked about in the town hall. So it doesn't mean that the person has done anything bad, because it's in red and they only have 2 followers. I'm like, is this someone who was booted off the app and then is on? So they just say that no, they consider it high risk, but it's not because the person is intentionally negative. It's because the person is new and they might not know how to conduct themselves. So they wanted to put that there just in case someone was new and they had any kind of intentions. And even if they didn't, you could still know this person is new, and to just know that they don't know how this environment works. So they may do some things that's out of etiquette that may be okay in normal conversation, but here it's, the etiquette has been established a bit. So anyway, that was something I thought worth talking about.
For sure.
Repeated events and reoccurring rooms, that's coming soon, as far as where we'll be able to do that. They didn't allow it initially because they didn't want the hallways to be littered with zombie rooms, aka rooms that people schedule out for long periods of time and then didn't follow up on it. Your follow suggestions will be greater. And they're excited about all the translation rooms. Really excited because it's in app, it's community oriented. So if you know a language other than English and you have the ability to host a room where you can translate what's happening in the town hall from English to that other language, you should do it ASAP because they're excited about it. They're actually wanting to work with creators who are doing that. So they like tell us what you need. So it's an opportunity, and especially if you have that gift. Yeah, I'll stop there. I'll stop there. I'll stop there. So, matter of fact, one last thing. If the last thing, I know, right? I think that's why you paused because you knew I wasn't stopping there. Last thing is that the last question they were asked, which I love because it came from such a pure perspective. It wasn't all deep. It was like, if you were new, what would you do? If you were a new person in this app, what would you do? And what they said was that they love the fact of the middle ground that this app hits. It gives the ability to pull all worlds together, to have something like a radio show, but where you just are really hanging out with people and it's very relaxed at the same time. The ability to have a high profile conference, but yet it feels like a green room where you're just kicking it and just talking to people. You have influential people talking. So they just say, the best thing to do is to just get in here, be your authentic self, and just start conversing with people. Be authentic about really creating relationships. Mind your manners, have etiquette, have respect, and just be real. Be real and be a good person. So, yeah, that's that for the recap. Sherry, any other thoughts that you had about the recap, or just where this app is going, or any of these features?
No, I think, the things that I'm most excited about is, really being able to create clubs, because there are a lot of people who had great ideas that weren't able to get their clubs approved for whatever reason.
Right.
So the ability to do that the same way you can in Facebook, you can create groups and rooms and, all those things. And then I also think that, the link is going to really indeed be a game changer. So those are the things I'm most excited about.
I'm feeling you. Well, this has been great. I hope that those that are listening, I hope that you got value out of this from the perspective of, what to look out for, or the fact that you can, again, create your own club now right in your profile. We're going to be talking about that all week. I'm going to be shouting that from the rooftops.
I would like to ask.
Yes.
I'd like to ask those who are listening, what they find most valuable about what we've shared, or what they're interested in as well. So
yes.
If you're listening, particularly over on Facebook and EYT, drop a message. And if you're here,
come on up to the stage.
Come up to the stage or drop us a DM and Instagram.
Yes, for sure. Yes. And
I want to know what people want to learn more about. Like, what is it that you're interested in?
Right. I love that. So by all means, you can come to the stage if you want to hang out with us. We want to say hey to you. And by all means, thanks for coming through. And if not, you would just want to keep hanging and let this be your backdrop to your day as you're rolling on the highway, or as you're behind your desk taking over the world. And by all means, you could do that too. Most of all, thanks for coming through. Sherry, I'm so excited. Okay, so tell me about your miracle morning. Are you about to get into it? Did you already flow with it? What's the deal?
So I started my miracle morning, and I'm really excited because two things. So, I'm an app geek. I love a good app. And today in the App Store, they actually featured this new app, or featured an app called Marigold.
Marigold?
Marigold, Marigold. If you go to your App Store, it is actually featured as one of the 9 awesome women-led apps.
Wow.
And I am super excited about this app because it actually has information in there, and it's almost like a series of various podcasts around building confidence, but it's categorized, right? So it's so dope because they have categories around relationships, building confidence in relationships, confidence in money, confidence in sex, confidence in your health, confidence in, and working through anxiety.
Wow.
Like, it's everything in there. And I actually have them featured in my Instagram stories today. So it's a really dope app.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that one more time?
Marigold. Marigold.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Marigold.
Marigold. Gotcha. That is really, really cool. Wow.
Yeah. So, so I was excited about that. And then my meditation oasis, which is an old school one, but I went back and grabbed it again because that is the app that literally taught me how to meditate before it was an app. It used to just be a YouTube channel, and you could find them on Facebook and stuff. And they, way back in the day, they were on MySpace as well. But now they have the app, and I love that they have these different meditations. Like, they have a diverse group of meditations in there, guided meditations, including a walking meditation, which, people think that meditation is always just sitting down, cross legs, saying Om, but that's not the truth. There are different ways to meditate, and one of my favorite is taking a walking meditation.
Right.
It clears your mind.
It's funny you mentioned that because I've been walking and meditating and just walking the walk of life and meditating for longer than I've known. I was just actually talking about it yesterday here. If you all joined me yesterday for the 5M experience on Sundays, I was talking about it yesterday, how, for me, I enjoy bringing meditation and mindfulness into this place where it's very accessible. I love letting people know that you don't need to be anywhere special just to take a deep breath, and just the fact that all you need is a deep breath and 30 seconds of just mindfulness, just being in that place, witnessing the thoughts while not being caught up in the stream of thoughts and emotions, but just taking a deep breath and slowing your heart rate down and just focusing on that for a few minutes. That's meditation. And the other thing I like to say too to people, and this will be the thing I'll always be saying, meditation is not. Did I say not? I said not. Meditation is not. Meditation is not this idea of being in a state where there's nothing on your mind, where your mind is totally clear. Meditation, right? It is not this concept of being in a state where your mind is just purely clear and there are no thoughts in your mind. It's not that. It is actually being in this space where all the thoughts are there, but you're able to not allow them to carry you away in the stream, where all the thoughts are there and you're able to get caught up by them, but then have that moment of gently relaxing and then focus back in on the breath. It's actually that point when you notice and when you relax and refocus, that actually is the point of meditation. And what happens from there is that naturally from doing that, you get to this place where the two worlds coexist together. This is how, for years before I even studied meditation, I realized, like, wow, this is how I live. I live in this state of peace in the midst of the chaos. I live in this state of seeing a stream or a river, and the difference between being in it and being washed downstream and being on the side of it, relaxed on my blanket, looking at it, allowing it to flow. So yeah, I'm into meditation. I love it.
That I love that. And excuse me, one of the first things when I first learned how to or was introduced to meditation was that the instructor was saying, allow the thought to come and then watch it as it floats away and bring your mind back to the center.
Yes.
So once I really understood how to do that and started doing it more, it really did help. I was sitting in a doctor's office one day, and the doctor, the nurse, he took my blood pressure, and he came back and took it again later, and he was like, your blood pressure went down. And he was like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I was meditating. And he was like, oh, that makes sense. He said, I meditate too, so I'm not going to be worried that it went down. Okay.
Absolutely love that. I love that. So I'm going to do a quick refresh, and then I actually want to read something that's on my mind with regards to mindfulness and meditation. So we want to say good morning to John and Terry. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much. And I hope that you've been enjoying this experience. I appreciate you. Yes. And it's so nice to meet you. And I want to say good morning to Sanahata, Amachandra, Edafly, T, Amber Delia. If anybody would like to come up to the stage, by all means, you know what you can do. You can throw up that wave. And you come on through.
Your hands up.
Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Yeah. And so if not, and you want to just keep hanging out, by all means, I would love to share these thoughts with you and see what your thoughts are. One of the biggest benefits of practicing focused meditation and mindfulness. Ironically, as soon as you notice that your mind is wandering, your mind is no longer wandering. Instead, you're aware. In that awareness, you realize you have a choice of what to pay attention to. This inevitably increases sustained attention, inhibitory control, and you naturally entertain less distractions. Talk about serendipity plus intention. So that was literally the first quote that opened up that I came to when I opened up my original quotes. And that's exactly what we were talking about just now.
Yeah.
As soon as you notice that your mind is wandering, your mind is no longer wandering. And again, I can't stress it enough. You know, for those that have been hanging around, and Sherry, you asked me this the other day. You were like, you haven't talked about the app. And I was like, yeah, I actually didn't. So this will be the first time today talking about the app. For those that have been listening to me for a while, been under the sound of my voice, you know that I've been talking about this app that I'm actually building now. And I'm looking forward to unveiling to the world. It's called the 5M Experience: music, movement, meditation, mindfulness, and mantra. And it'll be on your home screens, coming soon to a home screen near you. The goal will be to have immediate resources for your ability to take a deep breath and de-stress. It'll be resources at your fingertips to have music that's soothing from yours truly to be able to relax into, and thoughts about mindfulness and affirmations and aspirations to inspire you throughout your day. So I'm excited about that. And the biggest one that I'm excited about when it comes to the meditation side of this is that I'm going to have these, little buttons that you can hit. And it's literally just going to say like immediate trigger release, 30 seconds. And when it comes on, you're literally going to hear me say, okay, look, it happened. It's all good. Just take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. Relax. Settle in. It's going to be all good. Just take it in. Let's release it. It's literally going to be just like that. And so I'm excited about that because what I want to do and what I've had a desire to do for a while, I'm excited about the opportunity, is to demystify and to bridge the gap, to make immediately accessible this thing called meditation and mindfulness, to make immediately accessible this thing called health and wellness, to make immediately accessible these things so that we can go on and live some great lives. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So it's ironic. Yeah. Let's get it. And so that's what I love about this. And that's why I love and why I wrote this. That ironically, as soon as you notice that your mind is wandering, your mind is no longer wandering. Instead, you are aware. In that awareness, you realize that you have a choice of what to pay attention to. This is the practice. And this is why we call it a practice. Yes. So let's say good morning to Sana Hada Amachandra. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Grand Rising, beautiful soul.
Grand rising. Grand rising. Grand rising.
Yes, Grand Rising.
Yes. Whew. So you jumped up right at the time when I was just finishing this last statement. So I'm imagining that this resonates with you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Maybe just a tiny bit. Maybe. I don't know.
Resonance is always, relative. I felt
Oh, that's beautiful. Resonance is relative. I love that.
it is.
Hey yo, please patent that, trademark that, put a damn stamp on that. That is beautiful. Resonance is relative. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. You see? It's not correct.
Yo, trademark that. I'm just saying. Yep.
Yes, sir. Done. Stop. Resonance is relative. So yes, I was listening to you guys share, and I just came from my other space. Deep bouncing in these Clubhouse streets. I just came from moderating another space and wanted to jump over here and support, see what's going on. I popped in a little bit when Nicole was here, so I didn't get everything to hear, but I heard her talk about focus gap and focus down. Like, yep, I know about that focus intention. So I caught that, and then of course listening to you, continue to share about 5M, about instant decompresses. It's just so good to see, even in that regard, focus intention, which you were talking about right there. So I just popped up because I wanted to, share it and wrap you guys, chop it up a little bit on this marvelous Monday.
Please, by all means. I love that. Oh man, I love that. Love that.
One of the things that Sherry, Aaron, do y'all live by like success lists or to-do lists? Like, is that part of your strategy for making it successful, for building successful days?
It's so funny you asked that, Sherry. What you go first? Tell me, because I got a mouthful. So yeah,
I do, and part of my commitment with my Miracle Morning is that I have a commit 3. So there are at least 3 things that I commit to making priorities to get done each day. And then I have an accountability partner. And we meet every day, Monday through Friday, and we go over what our 3 commitments are. And we talk about what we were able to complete the day before, what obstacles we might see coming up to get it completed, etc. So yeah, that's been helping a lot.
I love that. So it's funny you asked that question, because I think maybe Friday, this thought came up as I was reading through my quotes, and I call it my formula for success. And it's literally just these phrases back to back, and you wrap them and repeat them. Create goals, sort details, sketch blueprints, gather resources, build models, monitor results, reassess goals, tweak formulas, take action, yield results, and rinse and repeat. Like, I'm trying to put this on like a canvas, like in front of me, like on my wall. I plan on putting it on one of my mugs. Like this right here is one of the things that helps me from day to day, because it kind of takes the whole equation for me and puts it in these chunks so that I can look at the situation. I can look at each day and just kind of touch bases on each one of these things to see where I am, what I need to tend to.
I love that because I've been one who, you know, now that I'm stepping in a very real way into my entrepreneurial life, you know, it's like it's real, it is what it is now. Like that's where I'm living here now. So I'm like, hello, I'm here. You know, welcome to the hometown.
Right.
And as I stepped into this new place, one of the things that I recognized was that the value, not that I didn't know the value of a list before,
right.
but I had things that took such big chunks of my time.
Right.
I would just eat away at what was right in front, right?
Yeah.
I would just eat away at what was right in front. And my time that was scheduled, but otherwise what was right in front.
Right.
Now that I have more of my time that I get to own, that I get to own, but that I am owning, which is what I want to say it in affirmations. I am owning my calendar and this to-do list.
Right.
It's all things. And it's almost like, you know, for those who've been living by that, they might be like, well, of course. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you already know. And you can stay jaded if you want to.
Yeah.
Or you can touch and agree with me that it is all the things that we can do. We can keep a high vibe atmosphere. But for me right now, when I look at everything that I have from today, like the knocking off, like I've already done like 3 of these things on here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've already done like 3 of these things on here, and what everything else is coming and that's getting done. Having this list, like there's so much stuff I'm knocking out. So and this, like that, I feel like that leading me into the closing the gap, that focused intention, you know, for where I am to where I want to be, and that leads me to my next question for you, just to ask you to and bring up, you know. Sometimes I say words and it's a song, and so the song then plays in my head. So the words I'm gonna go talk about were desire, personal desire, and so I was gonna say fire and desire, and you know what song fell out of my head?
Don't make fun of my song.
This is like, I'm not only making fun, I'm making the love even more fun because I love that shit. Yo, that's hard. That's fire, yo. Yes, get it. I'm just saying. We're
gonna touch this and then I'm gonna jump back off of it. Tina Marie's song, Portuguese Love. They said that she actually wrote that about Rick James. So, at a night, it wasn't in Portugal, it was on somebody's like a dock or somewhere, but all that to say, you better love me like fire and the rain. So anyway,
she was deeply in love with Rick James, you know, so.
Deeply in love with Rick.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh no, it was a real thing between them. It was serious.
Yes. It's truly the real thing. And that's because love just is, right? And so what came up for me around fire and desire was that I have finally, and I don't know about others who are living this life as well, but I am being called to knowing what is my fire, what is my desire, what is great inside of me that I want to bring through, and not just the things that I feel obligated to. Which I live by. And I know you talk about opportunity versus obligation. I feel like, what are you talking about? You have to do the things and the things that you have to. And that was, that was my, that was what I was aligning with. And now that I move into this other place of knowing what I want, it's a very interesting thing. Like, even when I was looking at how do I want to live or how do I want to do, I feel into my body, and that's things that I thought I was supposed to do, but I was dead when I still felt into my body. But when I felt into my body for other things that were like more personal, almost selfish, but as we understand, self-full, I found that it resonated. I was like filled up, and I was like, oh, my attention to your fire and desire when you're making your list. And so I believe that's probably, I know that's important for you, Aaron. I'm sure, I believe in my heart of hearts it's important for you, Sherry. Can y'all talk about fire and desire as it relates to, bringing your dreams or manifesting your dreams?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is phenomenal. Sherry, you want to go? You want me to go? How you feeling?
You can go ahead. I'll jump in. You go first.
Whew. So, selfful, right? And I love what you said. Selfful and then self first. What I think about is this balance between knowing what you want, knowing what you need, and being able to accept all things within the midst of that. It's like this eternal reflection, right? So it's like this thing that continues to keep validating itself. The fire, the desire, the passion is so backed up by knowing my heart and knowing my intentions and knowing what makes me feel good and knowing what is good for me, that it becomes the driving factor. And I think that even more of it, like it comes about even more as you allow it to be, right? As you allow it to be, as you allow it to come up, and you use the fire and desire that you feel to unfold to the next level. Now, I know right now I feel like I'm being a bit too vague, so it's probably going to come in a bit more tighter as we keep talking about it. But yeah, at least that's the first thing that comes up for me in my mind. It's just this checking and this selfful thing that allows me to be able to hone in on what my fire, my desire is, value it, allow it to come to the forefront, and then allow it to live amongst the spaces of other fires and desires and everything else around me. It's this interesting bliss. I'll stop there as I gather better thoughts, or as I feel like I can bring it in tighter. But that's the first thing that comes to mind for me. Is there anything in that you could help me actually to better answer the question, Amma?
I hope to share more, but I want to hear Sherry's on
Yeah.
I want to hear what Sherry has to say.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's I'm multi-passionate, and that can be a blessing and a curse. So the fire and desire part of it is all fire and desire in the moment. So what I learned to do is create lists and then prioritize the list. And then even just as recent as yesterday, I had to had a conversation about just making sure that I push things off the plate that I'm not loving. So even though I might be passionate about it and want to do it, it may not be the time. The timing might not be right. So I like to, particularly more recently, check in to see what makes the most sense in this season and in this moment, because there's so many things and ideas and you can have too many pots boiling, as they say, or too many balls in the air at the same time. And I want to make sure that I am at least completing the ones that are most important. Which is why the commit 3 became important to me, because I had a lot of things that were all happening at the same time, and they were all important, but all of them didn't need to be done right now. I appreciate that so much around the commit 3. And as I was watching you, Aaron, kind of formulate the thoughts, what's coming up for me and hearing you both around this, because Aaron, you demonstrate a lot of just passion for life and zest and curiosity, like a passion for just being curious, like open and seeing how it through and seeing how it fits in. And then Sherry being like, because I already know that this is where I am, and being multi-passionate, right? I love that word. You're speaking about your 3, and that remember my first husband. His favorite language was he understood his capacity even better than I did. That's a part of how we we're really great friends, but we're no longer great friends and no longer together. Was the journey around his clarity, where I was trying to take in more.
Right.
And I understood. So for someone like myself, who always been passionate about serving and supporting, and some of that I'm realizing was indoctrination.
Yeah.
Indoctrination. And things that I was passionate about were sometimes put to the side, or not allowed space. You know, however we want to say that.
Right.
You know, you say to somebody, they tell you that that's foolish and what you talking about. You kind of,
I get it.
You don't get used. Yeah. So now that I'm leaning into this thing, right? And allowing it to show up and building, like I'm now like putting wood in my own little, in my belly. I'm putting wood in my belly to create fire to burn, because I know that you have to be strategic in what, because you can't do it all. Like sometimes I have to put my thoughts, they all try to run out of my mouth at the same time. Like, whoa.
Right.
Y'all can't all come out my mouth at the same time. I'm sorry. Back up.
Speak at once, right?
But you know, I will say, when you have a bunch of thoughts like that, I think you should let them all pour out and then prioritize them. Because what I find is when I have a lot of thoughts and they're all trying to come out at the same time, I love the way you said that. It's more frustrating when I keep it in. So I literally will sit down and have pages of stuff that I'm thinking about or want to do or have to do, whatever. And then I just start categorizing them like A, B, and C. A are the things that are most important. And then I put them into order. No, I'm loving that as a tool, because I do dumps. I do brain dumps at times. And so I think I will likely bring that in as a regular practice to clear my cache, so to speak, to clear my cache and get it all down, and then see if there are things that have a home underneath some of these other things, or if there are things that just kind of listed in my hodgepodge of next things that continue to light me up. Leading into the things that light you up is something that I love singing, right?
Yeah.
That's silly to say, like, duh, you're a singer, right? But,
I know people who oh gosh, that's one of those like whole other sermons for a whole other day. I know people that can sing and play, and they just are not happy with themselves and what they do. So they literally have this amazing gift, and they don't even enjoy it as much as others outside of them do. It's an interesting thing.
That's a whole other conversation right there. That feels like your gift has not been able to be used to fulfill your own purpose. I tell you, the creative spaces around singing, using that as an example, I used to feel bad when in my martial art with singing and things wouldn't come out. I would hit a note wrong. I would feel this, and then I began to take it. I started laughing at myself and just having more fun. And all of a sudden, it became like, yo, we need her to bring the energy. We need her to bring that light. And when that transpired into performing, though, it wasn't there. It wasn't there. It wasn't there because in so many ways, I still had these new stories I had to move through. So I'm grateful that I allowed the passion and what I felt when I was on stage, and what I felt when I was sharing, what I felt when the sound came through when I was finished. Like I would finish a song and be like, I'm empty.
Yeah. I love how you said that. Finish a song and you feel like I'm empty. Like you feel that pouring out. It's a completeness that you feel.
Yes, and now that I've done that, I want to apply. Now that I know that I have that as a way, an outlet, I'm excited to see what other outlets my fire and desire I'm giving birth to. I'm like, okay, y'all, I'm ready. I'm so ready.
So let me ask you this. I love this. So with everything that you're saying, is even helping me to understand the thought better. Essentially, initially, were you asking like what do you do with these things as they come up? Like, how do you manage them? How do you decide? Yeah, just literally that. Like, how do you decide what to do with this energy, where to pour it, where not, how to manage it?
I'm asking from the perspective of, I guess it's two perspectives, meaning how do you manage it, but
Yes.
how is that for you? Because it's something that I'm stepping into.
Right. Got you.
But especially coming out of obligation, because
Yeah.
there's all these things that can pull me back there. And I'm like, I'm going for the passionate lived life.
Right.
Calling in things that feed my soul,
Okay, got you. All right.
Yeah.
So here's what else comes up for me. Okay. So, and I love this. Okay. Thank you for even that. Now it helps me even better. So one of the things that I learned how to do was to turn my opportunities into my own created obligations. So meaning that when I took the opportunity to say, follow my heart as a producer and start creating performance tracks, because I saw the need, the people were there, the demand was there, the need was there, and I had the gift and I had the desire, I had the fire and desire. I knew that I had obligations in life, period. And I knew that also when it came to working, like, of course, that was going to be an obligation because that's just what it means to be human if you're trying to live and take care of your life. So I realized that I had the opportunity to take my opportunity and to put it in a place where it would both fulfill obligations and where if I was going to be obligated to anything and being obligated to just doing the thing that was started off as an opportunity, I knew it would not only make me happy, I knew it would pave the way as far as taking care of my obligations. And so I allowed it to come through and realized that I would be getting the same thing done if I was just pulled by my obligations. I'm getting the same thing done, but with more happiness, with more joy, with more exuberance, with more just higher, like just a higher quality of life, the quality of life that I want, and that I desire. So
I'm loving that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Higher quality life and a higher, so the things that you're passionate, you became, you use obligated, but can I use the word devoted?
Yes, devoted. Yes.
I like to use the word devoted. It feels different.
Yes, it does. I like that. Because when you have a devotion to your children, when you have a devotion to your wellness, when you have a devotion to just living, just an exuberant life, and creating generational wealth and just all the things, legacy, then yes, you're right. Because that devotion, you then shift your opportunity to a thing where you can where you have a devotion to it and you put it into a place where it sees the way through, and it's really reminding yourself every day. Oh, here's the last thing. Here's the last thing. It became reminding myself every day by checking in to see how I felt when I did these things that was pulled by that fire and desire. Like continuing to remember that interoception, like this feels amazing. Not only does it feel amazing, it lights me up instead of making me feel dragged down and like getting through the same amount of time, doing something else. It pulls me forward. It makes me happy. It makes me exuberant. I could do this whether I got paid or not, but it's beautiful that I'm putting this into a place where I can get paid and where I can, live from this, live from my life work, let my life work, take care of my living. So that's the biggest thing, is keeping that vision. It's remembering through the feelings of what it feels like. And it's knowing that if you are doing something that is driven by fire and desire, that it will be the thing that takes care of all the things you desire to.
So you're saying, what I'm getting from you, and I appreciate this, right? Mm-hmm. Because what we understand is there's a level of endurance that you're gonna have to go through. You're gonna have to endure. Even so, it's sort of like what I'm hearing from you around allowing it to feed you by feeding it,
yes,
is a part of how you keep that fire, putting it in the belly, putting it into the will, putting
yes.
it in, allowing it to just keep sustaining your heart.
Yeah, and it becomes self-sustaining when you allow it, because what happens is when you follow your heart and you do that expression, you do those expressions, you show up, you do what you do, then what happens is the impact that it has, when you listen to the signs, when you actually take them in, they fuel the fire. They fuel the next iteration of the fire. They fuel the next day. They fuel the next moment. And what you learn to do over time is find solace in that place, knowing that all of who you are and all that you have a desire and a fire for is what you've been given to take care of everything that you're devoted to.
This is powerful. So, but I'm appreciating this. I'm appreciating this for all our other independent thinkers out there, being able to step onto our own platform. I'm really appreciating it for me. I hope that others have benefited from hearing it.
Yeah.
I know that you said me this morning, though, and I appreciate you for standing and holding it space, because you are a big part of my you, Meyer, the other members of the crew,
right,
who have been walking that entrepreneurial path. It's not even about me wanting to be an entrepreneur. To be honest, I will tell you clearly, my word, I want self-ownership.
Right.
I want to own myself, which means that I need to create my sustenance from my substance.
Yes.
My sustenance comes from my substance. So
I'm just that.
I'm loving this conversation, and thank you.
Oh my goodness, this has been incredible. In fact, I think that good brother Meyer can even add on to this. Meyer, first of all, good morning to you, brother. How you doing this morning? If you're
morning.
Yes, sir.
It is good to be back. I feel like I missed y'all all last week.
Hey, Meyer, what's up, bro?
Hey, Donna, how you doing?
I'm good, sweetheart. I'm good. You know what? One of these, I'm gonna find me a picture of me having a drink and put it up there just to match.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. Got the drink, we got the smoke.
Right.
Selfie. I'll be right there with you. Like, I'm ready. We're gonna have a whole little speakeasy with pictures and shit.
Right.
I love it.
So yeah, Meyer, I noticed, bro, that you jumped up right around the time when I mentioned that I know people that have musical abilities, and even though what'd you say, bro?
That hate that shit.
Yeah, that don't. Yeah. So what and I felt like even though you didn't say a word, I just felt because of the time, because of everything, I was like, yeah, Meyer has something to see.
I chimed in right away. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Me. I'm burnt out. I hate music.
Look, when I tell you I could not understand the journey more, better or more real talk, bro. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it.
That is what it is, though. It is mostly burnout, because it's as much literally. I think 2 days ago, I got real pissed, and I'm like, that's it. Fuck it. I hate music. I'm finding something else to do with my life. I'm going to do something else.
Right.
But, no, I'm not.
All right.
No, I'm not. I'm 15 years deep in this. This is sunken costs at this point.
Yeah.
So,
and, it's interesting. I'm wondering this. So, 15 years and, the costs and these kind of things. But then I think about, man, I already know, especially from our conversations, bro, when music is not only all that, but it's actually your lifesaver, real talk, bro. Real fucking talk.
Yeah, I love that. That's the complete 180 of it, because, on one end, I'm like, oh, I'm burnt out, but I don't really take the time to appreciate it and be like, you know what? If it wasn't for music, I wouldn't have been the person I am, and I like the person I am.
Right.
So I'm grateful for music.
Right. It's one of those things, right? It's one of those things. And it's interesting, it's it's what brings me back to reality as well. Brings me back to that place of solitude. I'm like, okay, all right. So first of all, everything in life sucks in some way, shape, form, or fashion. It has its cons. It has its not so fun parts. You know what I mean? But then when I'm like, man, but what else would I desire to be doing? Where if I'm gonna put in those blood, sweat, and tears, if it's gonna be some fucked up days, some disappointments, like I wouldn't want it to be doing anything else, other than something that I at least love and care about and like brings me joy in those other times when it's not sucking. Right.
Exactly. The wins are so addictive that it outweighs the negative.
There you go.
And it's weird though, because like we're in such a, I hate when people say unprecedented time because I've heard that to death. But for other reasons, we're in an unprecedented time.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing like capitalism and technocracy mix in a way that is not healthy. And so I'm just like, I'm only getting like 0.004 cents a stream, and everyone's acting like that's normal. And I'm just seeing that start to get applied to like everyone across the board. I'm seeing more self-checkout aisles, and I'm seeing people at the, grocery store. I'm seeing like more robots. Everything got a computer in it. So
yeah,
the wins. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the wins are starting to get a little few and far between. And I think that for like myself, and maybe for a lot of other people, if this resonates with you, like we are getting this sense of burnout because the amount of work we're putting in is no longer yielding the same results that it did 5 years ago due to like things beyond our control, like algorithms and just like how preoccupied everyone is. And,
Yep.
Shit. But that will lead to burnout, and we got to be like guarding our energy, planning accordingly, because otherwise I'm gonna throw my computer in the garbage.
Bro. Try to flush that shit down the toilet, knowing it won't fit. And just be like, let me tell you this, bro. So I couldn't agree with you more, man. I really couldn't agree with you more. I'll tell you, this is why I'm glad and I'm very, very fortunate, and why I talk about it as much as possible, why my story panned out to be what it is. And I never tell it for my own glory, so to speak. I always tell it for like inspiration, because I just happened to fall into the category of people who was able to take something that was an opportunity or hobby and turn it into a living. But what it made me be in that process was a natural pivoter, So it's like, yeah, and this is why I'm glad that I have that trait, because what it really equals, Meyer, is changing the game, like playing, like really going along with the flow and just changing your position in the spectrum.
100.
When
it's adaptation.
Yeah, it's adaptation, bro. And the wild part, when you realize it's adaptation, and you realize that adapting doesn't mean condoning, it doesn't mean giving up. It actually means the other way around, man. You're giving it another level, another layer of like, I'm gonna like not even allow this shit to stop my shine or stop my flow or stop the flow. Bro, I'm in school right now for psychotherapy, as most of y'all know. So I'm watching one of the classes yesterday, and it's about this concept called utilization. And utilization is it's literally like the highest form of being able to do therapy, because it's literally a come what may style, right? Did you ever watch MMA?
No, I've never really been like a big fighting or sports guy.
So I've never been either, right? And I can't even bear it right now. Like I can't bear to watch any of that stuff. But when I was watching it, because my mind's always thinking about psychology and thinking about things different way, when there was this one fighter, his name was Hoist Gracie, and he wound up being like the champion for a good amount of time. And he wasn't like this big buff dude, and he wasn't like this knockout puncher. It wasn't any of that. His whole style would be that his strength was literally being on the bottom. His strength was you being on top of him in the dominant like type of position where you could knock him out because you have the advantage even as far as gravity. His advantage was being on the bottom.
Using your momentum.
Yeah, he would use, he absorbed what you threw at him and use it against you. So it was almost like you didn't want to throw a punch at him, because if he caught it, then your arm, like, man. Or he would literally make you choke yourself, like by just flipping you over and not even using force with his legs. So him being on the bottom was the thing. And I remember looking at that and being like, wow, that makes sense to me on a deeper level than being the strong person to try to stand up against this stuff. Because you learn, yeah, bro, you learn how to allow that, like, to go with the flow and learn how to ride the wave. So here's what it translates into with this psychotherapy thing. This concept of utilization is that process. It's the process of being in the moment and having so much acceptance that you utilize whatever is happens in the moment, whatever the person says, whatever you say, whatever way it plans out. If there's some loud ass noise that happens, like, you utilize everything. And yeah, and that speaks to me because that's who I am as a jazz musician. That's what allows me to improvise at the level I do. It's literally being right there where it doesn't matter what happens. I use it to create an idea. I use it. I go with the flow. So fast forward, when I come back to this moment and what we're talking about as far as adjusting to this, especially with these streams, bro, it's why at the same time, while all this is happening and while my mind starts to flow in this new direction of this app shit, it's why it makes sense to me. Because every time a shift like this happens, the shift happens in my mind and pivots. It pivots immediately. And that's why I've been talking about this app thing so much. Because, bro, we won't ever be able to win on streams again. Like, it's just not possible unless you're in the top tier of some, unrealistic percentage.
You gotta be rich. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
You gotta be rich as fuck to get richer.
Right.
But I just wanted to cut you off.
You got it. Please do. Please do. Please do.
I fucking, man, I missed the show because just like what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Like, it's been weak and I didn't really have any inspiration or nothing. And that little, like, that idea of just, using someone's own momentum against them or using whatever life throws at you.
Yes.
Kind of like, doing some cowboy bebop shit.
Right.
That's like, I love that. I'm going to utilize that more. And that fucking sticks with me. But yeah, like, as far as pivoting goes, I think that as far as, like, I'm not the guy that evolves right when everyone else has to. Yes, I'm like the guy that keeps an eye on the guys evolving.
Right. Love it. I love that shit.
I'm one group behind. I'm like, oh, what are they doing? But I don't have like the natural inclination to figure it out.
Yo, let me tell you this. Then I don't know if you've been here since I've been talking about this Lemmings game and how I think it's the most, bruh.
I remember Lemmings.
So outside of that piece, I talk about this. I look at it as the yin and the yang. I look at it as the structure upholder and the innovator. Both are needed. Both are needed at the same time. Always. They're who they are together naturally, like, cancels each other out, but not even canceling it. I mean it more in a way like it's the synchronicity of those two things together that makes the whole thing tick. It makes the whole thing flow. So what I mean is, I always say you need the innovators because you need the people to blaze the pathway forward. At some point when they stumble upon something new that should be upheld and should be held as a strong thing, then you need the person to uphold the structure. You need those behind and in the front. It's why I love the Lemmings so much, because everybody's trait it helped the village. So I love what you're saying. That's why I'm glad that even in this conversation, even how we're rapping, like, I could be this side, because bro, look, let me tell you this. The thing that I said this at least 3 years ago, I said I would never rely on music sales again to fuel my living. And that comes from a guy who in 2015 was making 6 figures off of the music that he was selling online. And still, right, and still to this day, and I mentioned this to you before, to this day, I have not worked since 2015. and I haven't had to work because of the residual income of making money off of music sales. But 3 years ago, when I saw the evolution happen, when I saw the change, when I saw the fact that it does make sense with something as beautiful as music and as therapeutic as music, that it should be on demand. It should be where it's less friction. The problem is, of course, that fucks up everything for the artist on the other side. It fucks it up for us. But what I realized was if the greatest point is to get the music to the people, then instead of looking at that as a wave that's crashing us down, it's just time to learn how to surf that motherfucker, even if whatever, or be open to it and then get on board at some point and just realize it if we want our highest goals met. And so what I realized was, how do I make my music on demand for people? So I immediately from there, I created a subscription service through Bandcamp, right? And I did this not only for myself, but I did it for my whole community. Myself, Sanahata Amachandra, Micah Smith, who you might have seen popping from time to time, my good brother Craig Austin, like the whole crew. It was called the Fruition Community, and you can go there. You could download our music for $9 a month. Now we immediately got supporters, right? And it was great for especially the super fans. So I was right on point. But I already knew even when I created it that it wasn't going to work long term. I knew it wasn't going to work, but like a good entrepreneur, I did it anyway because I knew there was some things I wanted to learn about the process and learn about it. So I knew it wasn't going to work because I knew there was no way, even with me giving the whole community's music, that I would be able to justify that it would be justified by a very, very large number of people when they looked at their bills, their statements, their bank statements, and when they saw $10 for Apple Music or $10 for Spotify, and next to it $9 for the Fruition Community, I knew it was going to be hard to keep up with that. And I knew I was going to have a certain core number of super fans, but that's not, you can't sustain a whole career off of just that unless you go deeper with providing them more. But you still need
that's my starting step.
Yeah. So you still need numbers to some degree. So here's my deal, or relative amount of numbers. So what I realized was, okay, I can't. There's no way to compete with that, even though I am giving even more than, because it's just music versus music. And if a person has to go to a different app just to listen to my music, when they're in their full library, and I'm not just there, I'm gonna lose out every time. Everybody else has lost out when it comes to my life, and I'm an artist, and I have an Apple Music service, and I love the fact that I could do that. So I knew that was the next step. But then recently, when this whole app idea came out, I knew that that was actually the answer right there. It was the step to the answer. Because what it is this, Meyer. When you create your exclusive Meyer Clarity experience, it's not that it's just going to be that people subscribe to your app just for your music. It's also for the rest of the journey that you're already doing through the rest of social media, but it is more valued in a place like this. And what this is going to help us to be able to do from here forevermore is to make, if we're smart and smart entrepreneurs, we can make the majority of our money to support our life through the app. And then all of the rest with the streams will actually come from that, because this will be more exclusive and have deeper impact. But the streams and stuff will be icing on the cake, which is where we want it in the equation and not the main fucking stream. It just
it should not be me. There's no way that'll work.
And it doesn't mean we have to go get a 9 to 5 or anything else.
No.
It just means, I think at least, and what I'm seeing and what happened before and how this keeps happening when I had these visions of like, oh shit. I just think that that's what it is, bro. I think I've gone on Fiverr and found out that I can hire somebody for fucking $200, $300, $400 to even build just a basis of being able to have the exclusive experience, and we're off to the races from there, bro.
Oh wow! So you got that started on Fiverr?
Yes, bro. I went on Fiverr and I looked for and I took a specific one which is called Adalo to search for Adalo developers, but that was just for the starting place. Yep, $40 an hour, $400 for the whole app, and blah blah blah, all these features. So I'm saying, bro, I think ultimately that's going to be the weight, and then on top of that weight, all the rest that we'll be able to benefit from with the streams, I think is going to be the deal. But the exclusive My Clarity in-app experience where you bring all to the table, just your journey, your life, everything you're already bringing.
You sell the human.
There you go, bro.
You're not selling the person.
There you go. There you go. And every bit goes farther because it's away from the noise, it's more focused, and it feels more like a VIP exclusive experience. I'm going to make it where people look on their bills, and when they see the $5 come out from my app, they actually have a happy feeling instead of oh man, another bill, because they're going to remember the last mindfulness experience. They're going to remember the last song that they immediately got as their affirmation of their day. There was just a loop that was like, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And it went farther than trying to sell them an album. It went farther than, yeah, bro. I'm telling you, it's a different world.
That gave me an idea. Because, like, how many times do we listen to songs like, oh, I remember the live version of this, it was so great.
Yes.
Do it at the moment trap time.
Yes.
So, like, that's what we want to give people with the app, so that they go back to the Spotify and they're just reminiscing with the music.
That's it. But they won't have to sort through the everything just to get to your potent experience when you drop the single or when you drop the thought of the day. So yeah, bro, we're going to keep chopping it up about that. I'm going to feed you everything that I learned about this journey so that you could use it for however you see fit too, man.
Man, I love it.
Yes, sir, fam. Much love to you, bro. And look, I'm happy to see you, bro. And I like what you said about the fact that, coming here, it really made you be like, damn, this is why I missed it, for a week. Because just this moment of inspiration, man, thank you for just sharing that, man. Because that's affirming, bro.
I got much love for all of you. Like, yeah, this is you're my fam in the morning. Like, I need this.
Right. It's the fix, baby. It's the fix.
One last thing before we'll move on, because I know I'm taking up enough time. But I just want to expand on a concept you shot at me, which was the innovator and the upholder.
Right.
And then my brain was like, innovator and the innovator. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to call it the innovator and the architect.
Yes. I love that. Yes. Let's get it.
I was like, okay, I got to tell Aaron that, because that just sounds dope. So I want to throw that back at you.
Oh, man. When I tell you nailed it with that, bro, because that's what it is. You need both, man. And we need both of those in our personality. And it's why I love being able to mirror in this way. That's what's up, fam. Goodness, let's say what's up to Shoin. Let's say what's up to Abrar, Terry T, and of course, Amber, Delia. Oh my goodness. First of all, thank you for being so patient. Like that was such a good chop up building like that. What's happening with you, Delia? What up?
I'm good.
Man.
I was here for the whole having a craft is a pain in the ass.
Yes.
Conversation. Yeah.
I want to hear I'm curious about what your thoughts are on that. And I forgot to say one thing too. If there's anyone else who would like to come up the stage to hang out with us, to have this conversation and more as we flow, by all means, you can throw up a wave. And if not, you just want to hang out and listen to this in the background, by all means, I appreciate you wherever you are. So my bad, Delia. I know that gave you some thoughts, so I'm just...
I mean, writers are notorious for hating the process. So even the ones who make the most money, who are the most prolific, they all hate it.
Speak about it. You're right.
They hate it. It's like, I hate it because, like, it's hard to develop the practice on their level. But even when I get there, I'm still going to hate it. So
that goes deep for me.
Authors don't like writing. A lot of them see it as a compulsion, like a literal compulsion. They can't not do it, and that's why.
Yeah.
They will tell you, they'll say, hey, if you cannot write, do that. And the thing is, like, I want to write. Like, sure, I'm lazy. I've done a great job of not writing, but that's not where I want to be. So the people who are prolific are like, no, go with that. And I'm like, no, it's not enough to. I want to be like you.
And look, now you just brought up for me exactly how this remedies. And I'm wondering, with everyone listening, I'm wondering how this jobs for you, because this is so fascinating how it stacks up for us, right? So I feel exactly what you're saying. Let me tell you what helps me on a day-to-day basis. I call this I guess I'll call it the photograph paradox. Let's call it that, right? For the inquisitive mind in you. The photograph paradox, right? So imagine if when we think about photos, a lot of us take a lot of photos over the course of our lives. But imagine if you did not take a photo until you felt the moment was picture perfect. Like until you felt like you were as good as you can look, it was as striking of a pose as you could ever strike in life, or any of that. It was the right sun, just the right time of day, the right light, whatever. Imagine just for a second that you never took a picture until it was absolutely perfect. What would happen would be that you would live a whole life and you would either not, first of all, you may take one picture because you may be like, God damn, because you'll get the point. Or you may never take a picture because you never feel satisfied with yourself. You never accept yourself in the moment. You never accept exactly where you are and where you are in your maturity. You never accept how you look and where you are and how you feel, just who you are. That's what happens to me when I think about this. When I look at who I am every day, when I look at my expressions, when I look at how I feel, when I look at my current level of skill and all of that, it comes down to one thing. My ass better accept where I am on this journey at this moment and allow myself to go forward, allow my birds to fly, allow these things. Because if not, then I'm never going to put shit out. If not, I'm never going to let my birds fly. If not, I'm never going to release this project. I'm never going to do this thing because I'm always waiting for this moment that does not exist. Perfection does not exist, people. There's only progress and there's only process and progression. That's all it is. So Delia, that's what keeps me in check. I'm like, I don't want to look back and be like, damn, I wish I had captured that moment when I was fucking 38 and I was feeling this way. Even though I had some places to grow and learn. Fuck it, I was still shining.
Yesterday, I had a good writing session. It wasn't prolific, and it wasn't a long time. I'm still getting it in late at night after Tyler's asleep.
Yes.
But it was good, and at the end, I took a second. I liked a section of the story.
Yes.
It's in first person, and I was starting to like the person I was writing. So I just took a moment and posted a quote, just in the comments. I'm just like, yeah, I really like how this character lets me do this and this with this story. And I just took a moment to feel good.
Yes.
About that little paragraph.
Yes.
The meander, which there's a traumatic scene coming up.
Yes.
And so that little meander, I could have been like, oh, I just need to get into this hard part. But no, I just appreciate it. You know what? This was nice. This was a nice little moment. And I just appreciate it and let that feed me. So when y'all talking about, taking a moment to meditate on how good it feels and what you like about it, it helps too. Yeah. So it takes a second to get to a point in the story where you think about it in the morning. So I'm just getting there with this story where I'm like, oh, okay, because before you just sit at your computer and you look at a blank screen
and wait for
something out at that moment. But now I'm starting to get into the world again,
Delia,
which is always nice.
Let me tell you something.
Remember that feeling when I'm
Right. Delia, let me tell you something. And I wanted to be patient, so I didn't cut you off. It's 10 or 15 seconds right before you said this last part. But let me tell you something. Congratulations, Delia, on having a prolific moment. Because, yes, ma'am, because everything you just described, Delia, about how you paused for a second, you didn't do a whole lot, you only made 2 comments. Those comments were flowing in a way where you were like, you know what? I'm just going to appreciate this moment. Congratulations on making and having a prolific moment. One of the things I was going to ask you, and I was, making sure, working on my not interrupting people. So I'm like, let me let the woman talk. One of the things I was going to ask you a couple minutes ago when you first mentioned the word prolific was I was going to say, Dalia, what does prolific mean to you? But instead of asking that, I just allowed you to continue because I knew you would explain it to me even without me asking. It would be in your words if I just listened closely. So what I found out is that, and this is why I say congratulations on a prolific moment, is because you had a very prolific moment. It's just that outside of I love it because you just explained it so well, but outside of calling it the prolific moment that it was, you just had another definition, another standard of what prolific meant. But what I realized in listening to you was that because of the way you flow, and I knew I was going to hear it because I'm like, Dalia flows in this way. You made that moment prolific by exactly what Maya and I were just talking about. It was flowing with the wave. It was riding it, not needing to do too much or too little, just feeling it out, just flowing with it, seeing how it feels, and then responding to it in the most appropriate way. So you get out of it what may not even be in it. You inject the value in it and you got out of it. So congratulations, Dalia, again, with your prolific ass.
Character is yet unnamed, but she's cute though, so we're gonna keep moving.
Dalia, I love the way you process. We process so much alike. Look, I love it. And again, you settled in the most prolific way. So, and that's what it's all about. That's what this whole flow is about. That's literally what this whole space is about. It's literally about knowing where you are. And we even talked about it with Sanahada. Like you mentioned, it's like you have this place of balance, this place of equanimity, this place of acceptance, where you're just walking that line and you're both able to accept how you feel on all angles. You accept all the situations. You literally use this process of utilization. You work with what's the fuck there. When I tell you that my religion, I always say this, my religion is acceptance over expectation. Because what happens is, it doesn't mean that expectation is not a great thing. Expectation is amazing. But you'll always win with acceptance in the end, because what it allows is for when you have good reason to expect, then you have a good outcome and a good experience. When you don't have reason to expect, you have a good outcome and a good experience, because the acceptance is there for no matter what comes. Not saying that it's easy. Like I say, it's easier said than done. I ain't saying it's easy. I just realized, and just thinking about things over years and studying so many different things and looking within and just so much, I'm just like, acceptance over expectation. Acceptance over expectation. It allows you to settle in.
Yeah, I'm trying to teach it to my kids so that she doesn't have to learn it. The growth mentality in particular. When my family says she's smart, I say, because Lena tries every day. And, we at the end of the day, we say we learn more and more every day.
Yeah.
So to make sure that growth mentality is in there, because, my mom, she settled in where people only praise her. People only think, everyone around her, she's like the best or among the best. And the reward is only praise.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and I think I struggled with growth mindset because I was always told, oh, you're smart, you're talented. And from a very young age, I was very uncomfortable with it. But I couldn't get myself to fight against it and think, well, what else should I think besides that? I just always felt insecure, like, is that really true or whatever? Like, so rather than understanding growth mindset, like, it kind of busted me up a little bit. But
I understand that.
We also did a little science experiment to create a tornado in a bottle. So this was a prolific weekend,
right?
And I even got a little writing it.
Yes, I love it. I'm telling you, I love and I enjoy your flow. I so enjoy it. If there's anyone else that would like to jump in as well, whether you're on the stage now or whether you want to come to the stage, we'd love to know your thoughts, even as we're flowing. This is a fun conversation. We're hanging around for about another 8 to 10 minutes, chopping it up, and just in this flow, I'm going to read this, and this will keep the conversation going. This is what I was thinking about when Meyer and I were talking. And in essence, it echoes exactly what we're talking about. I wrote this around the concept of what it means to look at a wave. Yes. And while I'm pulling this up, speaking of a wave, this that you've been hearing in the background is my original tune. It's called Societal Exchange. And it's the concept. When I wrote this, I was inspired at the Baltimore Farmers Market. And just the wave of people and just people waving, saying hello to each other and all these beautiful things, right? Yes, yes. So I hope that you've been enjoying this. So I wrote this on November 11th, 2020. Those that accept evolution strive and grow. Those that don't. A wave can come crashing down on you, or it can be the momentum under your surfboard to ride high to success. But either way, the choice is yours. And that's whether you're a surfer or not, by the way. It's just one of those things. So go with the flow. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Yes, I'm wondering what this brings up for you. What are your thoughts as we hang out for a few more minutes around this topic? Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So one of the most important parts of going with the flow is knowing that you direct the energy, right? So it's like, if you're going with the flow, the only thing that I'm working to hold true is like I witnessed with you, which is, opportunity, relaxing in, like you have this manner that you steer your ship with, right? And I witnessed you in a powerful way. And Terry, I'm not gonna hold on because I'm so grateful Terry jumped on stage, but that's what I'm leaning into. What is the tone that you're gonna get when you ring my bell? But I don't care what it comes, you're still gonna get this tone. And that's how I'm gonna flow with. Like I'm going with the flow, all the things that are happening, but I'm still directing my ship. And with that, I'll pass it to Terry.
I love that. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Alma. And right before we jump to Terry, I do want to say that really does mean a lot, because I agree with you. You realize, I'll make this quick. My pitcher's theory, home run theory. I mean, when you take a home run, you have a pitcher throwing a ball, you have a batter hitting a ball. The pitcher is the one that has the momentum. The batter is the one that's just redirecting the energy. So the batter really doesn't even have to have but so much brute strength. It's just the ability to redirect the energy. So that's how I think about it. I think about everything that comes your way, how to utilize it and redirect the energy.
That's dope. And when I think about that around the redirecting, and that's that. And even what you talked about, the power of a pivot, and like with in baseball, I remember playing softball when I was younger, and it's all about just lining it up, alignment, so you can and knock it on like it's not even, you can swing, but it's really about just hitting that sweet spot.
Yeah.
And then, yes.
I love that. Terry, good morning to you. Everybody, let's say good morning to Terry. Good morning, Terry. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes.
Oh my God. I am in my office this morning. I have been listening to you guys all morning while I checked my emails, while I brushed my teeth, while I got dressed, while I talked to the contractor.
Just carrying us with you throughout your day.
Yeah. I could not contain myself, and so I got to take a few minutes before you guys close to go. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
OMG. I have loved everything you all have presented this morning. I want to thank you, Aaron, for curating a space that has such great energy. I love the flow. I love the wave. And I'm telling you, I'm like, he's done? I'm like, I wanted more. I wanted so much more. So I know I know you're about to end, but
it's okay though.
I wanted to step in
and
share my enthusiasm.
Yes.
I bow my head to you and the other members who are up here. You guys have some really great gems. And I just wanted to say, keep on doing what you do.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So thank you for allowing me to share this space and this energy with you. I'm very appreciative and intentional in my gifts.
Oh my goodness. So I like to tell people this sometimes, Terry. I'm like, so you're just gonna make my heart mashed potatoes like that, huh? You're just gonna make me all mashed potato-y and stuff. Terry, that means the world to me. And I want to thank you because to share in that way and your exuberance and just how you've experienced this is the most validating thing ever to me, because it's why I do what I do, and it is exactly why I do what I do. So I just want to appreciate you. I want to say it is so nice to meet you, and I want to also say to you that this will always be a space where you feel this level of comfort and this ability to share, because this is what we do here every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, and it's the same vibe. So it is so nice to meet you. Tell me real quick, where are you from, Terry? Where are you from?
I live in Louisiana.
Nice.
The northeast section of Louisiana. So this is where I reside. I'm a Southern Belle.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness, I love it. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. And so I'm not even sure, how you got here, what brought you in the room. I always know that the serendipity, the intention, just the way things flow, that it always is just for the right person, the right people. And so I don't know what brought you here, but whatever did, I'm grateful to meet you, grateful to see you, and say welcome to the family. Hello.
Thank you. I am honored.
Yes. Oh goodness. So thank you for sharing that. And by all means, again, I'm gonna say a few things before we wrap up this experience in the next couple of minutes. First thing is that we are here every day, the AP family. The AP family. In fact, that's what you're going to see at the top of this page. Maybe today, if when I go back in and I hit the plus sign on my club and I go ahead and try to create it, if it shows up and it works. Yesterday, in learning the system, what I found out, and they talked about in the Clubhouse town hall, is that there's a couple things, and I'll take a quick refresh just so y'all can know what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you didn't know, now you know. You can create your own club now, right from your profile. If you hit on your profile icon and you go down to the bottom, you should see a plus sign where you can go ahead and create your Clubhouse club. Yay! We're so happy. We're freaking happy because we've been waiting on this for a while. So now you can do that in your own way. And so a couple things to note. And so this is through my trial and error. Number one, your name has to be 25 characters or less. No more than 25 characters. And for right now, if you create a club where someone else has the same name, it won't allow you to do it right off the bat. Now, over time, they're going to ease that and relax that so that you will be able to. So if you decide that there's a name that you want, then I would say just wait a second. Don't do it now, and just maybe wait, I guess, until next week or something like that. But you can create your own club. You have to select 3 topics. They're going to give you all these topics to select. You want to select 3 topics that are first 3 things that you think about when you think about your club, when you think about who it serves. Go back to your why. Always start with your why. Before you just jam away at things, start with why. That will give you your vision, and then that way you can select these things, because you'll be able to go back and change your description, which is limitless from what I see as far as characters, so you don't have to worry about limitations there. But your name, the name of your club, cannot be changed after you do it. So take a second, go back to your why, go back to what speaks to you most. Don't think about, well, what will people like to see? No, 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 no. Think to what speaks to you most. Think about why you're here. Think about your deepest, genuine reasons for what you want to get done, and then flow with that and go in that direction. And don't worry about other people's validation. It has to be from you and why you're here, not a people pleaser. So that's that. And you can create your own club. So soon you'll see the name of the club here. It's going to be called the AP Family. The AP Family. AP, of course, stands for Accountability Partners, because that's what we've been doing every day since December 15th. Can y'all believe? It's January, February, March. Oh my goodness. It's been 3 months. It's been 90 days already. And so in addition to that, the AP also is special to me because my first and middle name is Aaron Prentice. So it's even like a double entendre there. So you'll see that. And yeah, we're going to keep this beautiful family thing going. So with that, I want to say love to the family again. I want to say hello to Shoin. Good morning. Thank you so much for hanging out. I hope that you have enjoyed this experience. I am now one of your new followers, as well as you, Terry, as well. And the good brother T, as always, brother, it's good to see you. If you're hanging out, if you're double dipping on FB Live, it's good to see you there too, bro. And to Terry, to Delia, to Maya, to Sanahara, to everybody that even is not here now, who graced the space as well, brought their consciousness in. I just want to say thank you to all of you. I want all of us to have an amazing day today on purpose. And I want you to know that no matter what comes your way, you have the power, you have the ability, you have the ability to take it, to utilize it in whatever way that you would have for your own journey. So know your power. That's what I learned. That's the first thing they taught us in my psychotherapy school. They said, 1, it's always about motivation. And number 2, people don't often know the power that they possess. And so that's where we are, here to support each other every day. So to you, I say thank you. And one last thing I want to do is that I want us to take 3 quick deep breaths before we get out of here. I invite you to do this with me. I'm going to take a deep breath. And on this last deep breath, we're going to open up our microphones, and like how they used to do on the Martin Lawrence show, when they would get together for the group hug, we're going to do our group hug where we take our last deep breath together and we affirm each other on our days today as we go about our way. So let's take this one in first. Behind your microphones, take a deep breath in. Inhale through your nose and exhale through the mouth. Let it all the way out. You can take some time to let it out, because honestly, letting out is where you slow your breath down, is where you really decompress, and is when you really give your body all the oxygen and the blood that it needs. Take another deep breath in through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. All right. And on this last breath, everybody that's on stage, if you're able to, let's open up our microphones on the count of 3. Let's take our last deep breath and let's all say bye-bye to each other. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Much love, Terry. Much love, Delia. Much love, Maya. Much love, Sanahara. And Showin and T. Yes.
Much love. Have a great day, everyone.
Much love, fam. Yeah. I see you all tomorrow. Much love. See you tomorrow morning. Peace. Be easy. Yes.